Alright, I think we should be good. Let's go ahead and get started. Yeesh. Hello everybody, Shino the Penguin back at you again with another stream. Not on the schedule, yeah, it's decided not to really do scheduled stuff just because I think, here, let me turn up the music a little bit more. It's probably a bit too loud still. I just want to have some background music in there, but not be too loud. Okay, I think it should be good. Okay. Yeah, no, but I just wanted to, I think I was definitely feeling a little bit of burnout last weekend, so just wanted to not put pressure on myself to be like, oh, I have to do a stream on this day, so I'll do it whenever I really kind of am in the itch for it, so to speak. And honestly, that was yesterday. I got back from my dodgeball league, and I was like, dang, you know what I really want to do? I want to stream. But at that point it was pretty late, so I was like getting back home, so I was like, I'll just do it tomorrow and see if I feel like it's still, and then maybe I might do that. So that's why we're here. So today's gonna be a little bit different. We're not gonna be playing games necessarily. I don't really know how long this is gonna go. It's probably gonna take we'll see. There's 100, so gonna be ranking based on, you can see on the title there, gonna be ranking all the 130 current Umamusume characters. That's only including the non-NPC characters, so any of the kind of NPCs that were in like the scenarios and stuff, I'm not gonna rank them just because, like, nah, they're not really, I don't count those. So got the 130 characters right now. I'm gonna do the tier list, which means I'm just gonna put them in the standard S to tier ranks. I got the little kind of tier maker site here up and ready. If we have time / if I'm not tired after we're done with all this, there is another option I have, which is there's another site which kind of does kind of a comparison between kind of two characters, and in that way is able to create like an actual like list of favorite characters, so like number 1, number 2, number 3, and all the way down to like number whatever, how many characters you choose. That's going to take a whole lot of time, so that's kind of why I opted to go with the tier list instead. But that can definitely be an option if we're up for it. But I think the tier list is good for now. I think it's going to be enough to fill enough time anyway. But if we're up and ready for it, then I might just go the other route. So without further ado, let me get into the tiering. So we got the little tier maker list here, tier maker website. Found the one which has all 130 characters, including the new ones that got released during the recent anniversary. Again, I'm not going to be ranking any of these characters, so like from Happy Meek onwards, like all these characters are all NPCs. Not going to be including those in my tier list, just because, one, I really honestly don't know too much about them, and two, it's just, I don't know, I just kind of want to care about the Umas right now, so we're just going to be doing the Umas. We will, I might as well just get down to it. I'll start by doing this first, because this is going to be the easiest. Ines Fujin, I should zoom that in a little bit more here. It's probably still a little bit. There we go. Okay. Ines Fujin, favorite character, definitely S rank. That's easy. Okay, but we'll go in order. I just wanted to put her first, just because I know she's definitely my favorite character. I honestly have a pretty good list of my top 10 favorites. I don't have it off the top of my head, but like if you give me some time, I'd be able to think. But we'll get to them as we get to them. I'm just going to go down in order. I think this is the order of the characters in the official site. So I don't know what exactly the order is, but it's some order. They're character IDs or whatever. So I guess we'll start here. So Special Week. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. She's the protagonist of this first season of the anime. Kind of the stereotypical, like small town girl from Hokkaido, I think it was, and then just from the countryside, wants to be the #1 racehorse in Japan, eats a lot of food. I like her. I do like her. I was kind of disappointed when they switched over to Tokai Teo and made her a queen for the second season, for when the main character's there. So actually, when I first saw that, I actually just didn't watch the second season, and then I heard, oh wait, it's actually really good, and then it turns out second season is peak sports anime. So that's why I think it's just like I was fine with it, but at first I was like, oh my god, the Special Week's not the main character anymore. It's like, god, that sucks. Now it's just like these two who I don't really care too much about, which we'll get to eventually. I know y'all, if you saw my tweet that I posted out, I did give a sneak preview of two popular characters whose I kind of already know ranks wise, but we'll get to them as we get to them. So, Special Week, do I want S or A? Actually, before we do that, let me clarify. So S for me, I think is gonna be like super like amazing. Meh. Which is, I don't think I'm really gonna hate any character, so I'm not gonna put like an F tier for like, oh, hate, like I hate this character, they need to die or unalive. But I think for me, D is probably just you know, don't really like them. Maybe not meh, but like because like average and meh kind of seem like the same thing. For me, meh is like lower than average, but I can see how that might be confusing. So maybe D's like not. Maverick. Yeah, this one. So like, yeah, they actually came out with like this poster here. Is that right? No, come on. Yeah, this one. So like this poster here is like, because if you don't know, here, Top Gun Maverick. One of my Oh my god, I realized I've been muted this whole freaking time. Oh, how long was that? How long was that there? How long was that muted? I know why. It's because I mapped my mic to M like a freaking... Oh my god. How long was I muted? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I apologize, everybody. That was really, really stupid of me. I just got a message being like, hey, is your mic supposed to be muted? And I'm like, no. No, it's not. This is a talkie stream, so it's not supposed to be muted. God, I hope that wasn't like that for a while. Thanks for letting me know. Wow, that is a huge mistake. Okay. God, I'm an idiot. Okay. Oh, I hope that wasn't very long. I'll have to check the VOD to see how long that was. Oh my god. Okay, well... I don't know how long I was muted, but I don't think I said this, but basically, you know, it's vibes, whatever, so, you know, this is all vibes, so, vibes. As I was saying, Air Shakur, who we were talking about next, Tupac, named after the rapper Tupac, God, I'm just, it's fine, it happens, okay. I don't think I was definitely not muted for the whole stream. I know why that happened, and I need to fix some settings because so what I did, actually, let me change that right now before I forget. Because I set up a hotkey to mute my mic so I can just do it in the press of a button, but I think what happened was when I was searching for, like, you know, the support cards there, I probably typed M, because I set it to M, like a freaking idiot, and that probably just muted me. So I'm just gonna delete that right now, and I might have to buy Stream Deck, honestly. I think I need to stop, like, setting my hotkeys to buttons on my keyboard, because I feel like that's just screwing me more than it usually does. So, now here, great, okay, good. I am audible. That is good. Okay, I fixed that. Okay, Air Shakur, data nerd. Appreciate that as somebody who works in data analytics, or did. But she's a bit too intense for me. She's a bit too, like, delinquent energy, I guess. So she's kind of a C, but I also kind of want to put her at B. But also she is kind of a C, because the good and bad kind of average out. So we'll go with there. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, Aishin Flash. Okay. Aishin Flash, German horse. Her whole thing is punctuality. She has a schedule that she always sticks to, you know, like by the second. Likes to bake, apparently, which is the reason why that is, which I don't really see how that connects. I'm kind of curious how the real life horse connects to this whole thing of punctuality, because that is basically her whole character, is that she follows this schedule to a T. Also, her race outfit is it's not practical. I'll just say that it's not practical. Go look it up if you're interested. But I'll put her at a B. I do like her, so whoops, let's put her there. Okay. All right. Next up is Karen-chan. This, I don't know if I was muted for this. I probably was muted for this. You probably see Rice Shower at C. You're wondering why she's at C. You're probably complaining because she's such a popular character that everybody likes. I was talking about the fact that she calls the character, or the trainer, Oni-chan in the game, which combined with her personality types, or personality kind of traits, it's just is a little questionable for me. Which is why kind of that bad aspect plus the good aspects that get shown in the second season of the anime, why those kind of combine together to be average. But what I was alluding to was the fact that she's not the only one who calls her trainer Oni-chan. That's also Karen-chan, who her whole aspect is that she wants to be cute. She's trying to be cute. Her whole thing is trying to do cute. She's like an influencer, an Instagram or whatever, or Umagram or whatever the thing is called in the Umaverse, but she is... So you're gonna probably think I'm hypocritical when I put Karen at an A. But I think it's because Karen's personality is a little bit different. Well, no, it's a lot different from Rice Showers. So, I mean, that's why I'm just like, and I think I don't really mind the Oni-chan as much. I still don't like it, but like, I think it's that, like, she's generally, like, I guess pretty chill in the sense, like, she's not like the chill character, but she has like the chill aspects to her, which I appreciate. And she has other aspects to her, like she knows like Aikido, which is like some martial arts. I think, wasn't there a thing about how she likes horror movies? I gotta look that up. Karen-chan. I also like how her name is Karen-chan, like it's literally Karen-chan, like, and then you can just call her Karen-chan. And I know one of the characters in the game calls her like Karen-chan-san or like Karen-chan senpai or whatever, so that's kind of funny. Let's see, she has a black belt in Aikido. Half of her top favorite movies are horror movies, yeah, so a little bit of those things. Kawakami Princess, she is, as her name alludes to, she's trying to, like, she acts like all royal. She's like, oh, like, you know, like, she uses like the special watakushi pronoun, but she's also technically commoner horse apparently, so she doesn't actually come from royal family. She just acts like that just because she wants to, and has a relationship with King Halo, which actually King Halo hasn't showed up yet, right? That's interesting. Oh, she's over here. Okay, I was like, King Halo's like, you know, gen mates with like some of these other characters here. I don't know why she hasn't showed up yet, but yeah, she's real life daughter of King Halo, which is why she has the name Princess. So fun fact there. I'm gonna put her at a B. Oh, and also she is way too powerful for her own good, as in she basically, like, anything she touched, she basically breaks things by accident. One too many times. I think there was like a story about how she like was like trying to forcefully open the door, and then I think she like broke the doorknob or whatever, or like broke the door, and it's just like, man, your power level's off the charts, but also it's just like, man, you gotta be careful. Anyway, Gold Ship, or not Gold Ship, Gold City, sorry, not the gold. Gold City, the beauty of the cast, she is a model, but she also, like, she's trying to like compete on races so that she's not defined just by her beauty, because she's tired of everybody being like, oh, she's a model, she's like so famous, and she wants to be known for her racing ability more than her looks. I'm gonna put her at an A. I do like her character. She's also one of the like the gyaru types. She's not full gyaru. There's a whole cast of characters of the gyaru umas, some way more than the others. She's kind of the more lighter version. She hangs out with them, but she's not, if you like read her stories or like take a look at her, she doesn't give off that vibe. So that's, yeah, I appreciate that. Ooh, Sakura Bakshino. Okay, Bakshino, she is class president. If I had to describe her personality, she is class president. She has like this duty to be like, oh, like as the class president, I have to, you know, fulfill this like the duty to like keep the like school grade or whatever, and like she's very simple-minded in that sense. Catchphrase Bakushin, which I think means something in Japanese, although I'm not 100% sure what it exactly means. But she is Bakushin, and she is a B for me. I do like her blockheadedness. I do appreciate that. Like in her main story, because she is one of the initial characters that got released. In her main story, I think she's a sprinter in real life, but she wants to race like long distance races, but her trainer convinces her that, oh, if you just run like short distance races, like, you know, like 3 short distance races in a row, that's the equivalent of a long distance race. And then somehow she believes that. So it's that kind of, you know, that kind of mindset, I guess. It's hilarious. Seeking the Pearl. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to Wiki for this one. I can't describe her that well. She's like Mr. You know that meme of Pitbull with Mr. Worldwide, where he's like holding the globe and like he like has the sunglasses or whatever? That's basically her personality, and I'm not really joking. Seeking the Pearl. She is an active older sister who hates to come off as insignificant and demonstrates that anything can happen in the world. She is a confident and expressive person who grew up moving from one country to another and is a talented woman who delivers results while making people laugh. She can't speak English, but she hides the fact with her body language. Yeah, she uses English quite a bit, which that's kind of interesting. But anyway, C. She's alright. She's kind of unremarkable for me. I didn't actually really do that much of an attempt of pulling her initial characters, so she was actually one of the characters I was missing for quite a time until 3rd anniversary, or one of the anniversaries came up, and I just selected her with one of the selector tickets, just to have her on the roster. But otherwise, she's kind of just whatever. Shinko Windy. Okay. Windy is... C or D? I mean, so I'll be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of her. Her whole archetype is that she bites, because I think the real life horse just bit the other horses while racing or in the stables or something. But yeah, she bites, and she's like a troublemaker in that sense. She also refers to herself in the third person, which I'm not the biggest fan of usually. Usually signifies, why can't I pronounce God? Usually signifies childishness. So that could be good, that could be bad. In this case, it's bad. I'm gonna put her a D, honestly. Like, not a huge fan of her. Similarly, yeah, Sweep Tosho, kind of the brat, the grandma's girl, I think, in a sense, because she really likes her grandma, but she hates her dad, and she's also like, nah, like, yeah, da, like, no, I don't want to do it, and I'm just like, man, you be annoying, so no. Okay, Super Creek, she's like the mother, acts like the motherly trait. I think she gets that because she was like the first horse that Takeyutaka, who's like a really famous jockey, Japanese jockey, who's, I think he's still active, or maybe he's not active anymore, but he like was active for quite some time, and I think she was the first like significant horse that he raced with, so that's kind of why she has this personality. She is the Ara. I think I'm gonna put her at a C. Not really, she's alright, but also the whole motherly type, those types of characters I'm not really huge fans of, so that's why she's kind of whatever. Smart Falcon, the idol, or she likes to call it the Uma doll, which doesn't roll off the tongue very well. She just wants to be an idol, and so she focuses on that aspect of the Umamusume dumb, and so for that reason I put her at a B. I think she has her qualities to her, so but not to the extent of an A. Zeno Rob Roy, the bookworm, and yeah, the bookworm, basically she reads a lot of books. I think you can probably tell by her appearance. I put her at a B. I think I do like her, but I don't think to the extent of an A. Okay, Tosen Jordan. Okay, so if we're talking Gyaru, so if Gold Ship's a Gyaru, or Gold City, why do I call it Gold Ship? Gold City. If Gold City is kind of the Gyaru type, I think Tosen Jordan's kind of that level up where she's 100% Gyaru. Like, absolutely talks in that way, mannerisms in that way. I do like that I want to say she's named after Michael Jordan, and I want to say that because I think one of her hobbies is basketball, which I think is really ironic. Not ironic, but I think is really funny because her whole character shtick is that she does her nails, and that she's very obsessed with nail care, which comes from the real life horse having some sort of like nail ailment disease thing, and so they had to really take care of their nails, and so that's why she's like that, the Uma version. But I think it's funny how, like, because, like, you know, if you ever play basketball, like, you know, you obviously use your hands, you have to, you know, to pass the ball, you know, catch the ball, receive, all that stuff. I feel like that'd be a lot harder with, like, with nails, and, like, having to maintain the nails while playing those. I feel like those conflict somehow. So I always thought that was kind of funny. But I do like her. I do also like her outfit, which has allusions to that as well, with some of the netting. Basketball netting, not necessarily basketball netting, but I can see how those kind of mesh together. See what I did? But is she an S or an A? I think I'd say A for now. I think A matches up. Although, so here's the reason why I'm like thinking S is because sure she is Gato and sure she like acts like that, but she also has a competitive side to her. Like she hates losing and she doesn't really take training too seriously, but she does really compete in races when she, you know, goes in them and like gets her feet dirty and all that stuff and, you know, does all that stuff. So I appreciate that aspect of her, and that's kind of why I'm kind of leaning towards S. But then if I do that, I feel like I also have to put Gold City at an S because I feel like that's also pretty those reasons are also tied to her character as well. So I don't know. And I kind of want to put Bourbon at an A now that I'm looking at this list. Well, we'll continue on. We'll put more characters in there and see, but I think, yeah, we'll get there. We are, how many characters are we in? I don't even know. It feels like we haven't even made a dent in this list. There's still like all these characters left. Ay, we are about an hour in. Okay, that's not too bad. Honestly, I think we can finish this at a pretty reasonable rate. Okay, Nakayama Festa, cool type as you can tell. She's the gambler. She does the whole like, she does the gambling. What else can you say? No, I think she's a, well, C. Yeah. C. Like, the idea of her character I like, but like when I read her in stories and like when I see her character, I'm like, like, yeah, whatever. So it's kind of why I'm just like at a C instead of a B. Okay, Narita Taishin, she is one of the BNW, which we've already ranked a 2 here. She is small in stature, she's very much the tsundere, she's standoffish, doesn't like listening to a trainer, but she also has a little bit of a kind of like the other, like a little bit of the softer side. I think she's older sister, so she takes care of her sisters there, and she's very responsible in that aspect. Hates losing, which I feel like you could say that for a lot of the Umas, maybe not this one, but in that sense, I think I'm gonna put her in A, or maybe a B. A, B, A. She's kind of the borderline A, B. I'll put her, no, I'll put her at an A for now because I don't think she belongs in this group. But I feel like if she's here, I feel like some of the people here should be above her. But then I don't think they should be, I feel like there should be like an A+ rank, which I feel like is, I know that's really stupid, but like, I feel like there needs to be some sort of like other rank to be like, oh, this isn't like my favorite character, but they're still like better than pretty good. They're like really good. Maybe I might have to do that eventually, but I'll put all the characters in A for now and then have to see if I have to separate later. Nishino Flower, she is the lolly of the group. Ugh, that's a weird way of putting it. Technically still elementary school age, but she's so advanced that she got kind of promoted up. What other aspects of her? She's responsible. This sounds really creepy talking about like her like this, but does the cooking. She does the cooking. Can you believe it? That's B. Yeah, B's about right. Like she's not a C rank. She's not insignificant. But she's also not like A rank where she's like really good. But I think she's a perfect encapsulation of B. I think she's good. She's a good character. Okay, Urara. She is the loser. Lost I think 116 straight races. Somehow mistakenly got invited into this prestigious academy, but everybody likes her vibe, so it's like, yeah, we'll just, you know, and her positive attitude, but despite the fact that she's never won. I think she's an S. I really do like her. She was one of my favorite characters. She was initially one of my favorite characters when I first started getting to the franchise, and she's still kind of one of my favorite characters. I do like her never give up attitude. And if you've never watched the, there's a documentary like a mini documentary. I think it's like ESPN, you know, if they do their like 30 for 30 series, which is like kind of this documentary series. And there's a mini version of it. I think it's available on Vimeo. It's called Haru Urara, the Champion of Losers Everywhere or something. Let me search it up. It's like Haru Urara. Yeah, the shining star of losers everywhere, Haru Urara. So I would definitely recommend watching this because it goes into the kind of history of how she became famous and like known for like losing races. And so it's really kind of interesting and really tells a lot about her story. So highly recommend watching that if you haven't. Bamboo Memory. Disciplinary committee, has a strong sense of justice, wears the headband. C. Not said. Biko Pegasus, C. I think her whole thing is like, oh, I want to be like one of the Super Sentai Ranger people or whatever, and like a superhero, and that's her thing. She also has, I think, the longest wait between when she first got introduced and her implementation, which I think was like, I want to say like 2,000 days or something. So yeah, for those of you who are waiting for some characters like Virginia or like who else is like kind of we're still waiting for, let me take a look at this list right now. Like for those of you who are waiting like Virginia or like some of these other characters, yeah, you're gonna have to wait a while. Before like she matches this individual in terms of the weight. So let's see. Okay, Marvelous Sunday, another short stack. She has like huge hair. Look at how her hair doesn't even fit in her image. Let me show the actual like full. Marvelous Sunday. Like her hair is like twice the size of her head, which is insane to me. Like how that's just so much hair. That's always the first thing I think of whenever I see her character is she has so much freaking hair. Having said that, her whole personality can be described as one thing, which is marvelous. She loves saying the word marvelous. She lives marvelous. She is marvelous. What do I mean by that? I don't know either. I'm gonna be honest. But she's very cheerful. She has very positive energy, very optimistic in that sense. You can probably tell by the kind of shiny eyes here, which another character here, Miss Fukukitaru, also has. She's not she's kind of optimistic, but in a different way. But I would say, well, here's the thing. I'm debating between B and C for a reason, because I don't think she's average, but I would probably put her in the good or bad because I do like her positivity, but also she is a bit much in terms of like kind of the positive energy. Like she exudes a lot. She is a lot, I think is the best way of putting it. Similar to, who's the other character who is just a lot? Oh yeah, Winning Ticket, except less bad in the sense. Like she is just a lot to handle, in many ways. Anyway, Machikane Fukukitaru, who has the longest name of any of the cast, I'm pretty sure, next to maybe Machikane Tannhäuser. Yeah, Fukukitaru is the resident kind of fortune teller, although there's another character who also is like that, but with feng shui. But she's just like, you know, has the crystal ball. Her race costume has like a kind of the little lucky cat, which I can actually show here. How do I get to you? Yes, this one. Yeah, so she has the little lucky cat here. She has the kind of the shrine, the daikichi, super lucky, that kind of thing. So she's obsessed with kind of all those fortune telling stuff. Like she feels like she races best when it's like a lucky day or whatever. So she's kind of that archetype of horse. Has also some really great screams. So I do like, do I put her at A or B? Because like I would put her at A, but I kind of want to put her at B because some of her antics are shenanigans are a bit too much for me to handle. But it's not so much that I would put her at a C, similar to kind of Marvelous Sunday over here. So I'm gonna put her at a B. All right, Mr. CB, the Free Spirit. She's another Triple Crown winner. yeah, she's just very free-spirited. I would put her at a B. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, but I'm also not, just like, it's not like to the extent of a C, so I think she's a B. Meisho Doto, very negative energy, very pessimistic, thinks very lowly of herself, but was also a pretty good racehorse, so she has that going for her. But I think the reason why she is the way she is because her real life counterpart was very unlucky in the sense that she had to deal with some very good counterparts, like TM Opera O, or like, the generation with Narita Top Road and Admire Vega. So she had to deal with that, but she still had her own wins, so she was still a pretty good horse in her own right. In that sense, I kind of want to put her as C, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C. I don't know, one of those two. It's just gonna be a little bit, cause like, right? Cause the negative energy is a little bit annoying sometimes, but she has her moments. So you know what? I'm gonna put her at a B. I do like her. And you know what? This is actually kind of working out, the distribution here. I was a little bit worried because there's a lot of S's compared to the A's, but we are getting to a pretty good distribution between, like a lot of, it's like the bell curve, so to speak. You got a lot of kind of characters grouped up in B and C. You got a little here, and then you got a little as tapering out as we go kind of towards the edges. So kind of interesting how that works out. Okay, Meijiro Dober. Another member of the Meijiro family. She is sort of the hates men, which is actually a thing, because I think in the game, if you are a male, like whichever gender you are, because you can set your gender in the game, dictates how she kind of acts in game. So if you're a male trainer, she's a lot more reserved. If you're a female trainer, she's like a little bit more kind of, outspoken. So it's kind of interesting how it's a different dialect there. I think there's another character that's like that too. I don't remember who that was, but I think there's somebody like that. But Meijiro Dober. So I'll say this. One of the artists who I follow on Twitter, who you probably know who I'm talking about if you, because his favorite character. I know it's a he. I definitely know it's a he. He's also Korean, so shout out my fellow Korean bro. But Taikiki, who is on Twitter and also I think Blue Sky, posts on Blue Sky. His favorite character is Dober, so I always feel like it's a little bit biased in that sense. But I don't really share his kind of bias there. But I'd put her at a B. I don't think she's necessarily in this group of characters. I do like her, but not to this extent. So I think B is good rank there. Nice nature, S. That's as easy as I think I can pick for a character. Nice nature. What can I say about Nice nature? I think she's actually technically my third favorite character if I've done the character sorter before. So she is definitely up there. What can you say about her? She is realistic in the sense that I'm not like she's in the same counterpart as like Tokai Teo, like that kind of generation. So she's like, I'm not like, like the monsters they are. I'm not, that good. And it's like, I think she didn't win a single G1 race, right? Because I think she was known as the bronze collector because she just gets third in every single race, pretty much. So, but like it's kind of like that underdog mentality in the sense where it's like, you kind of root for those. And she's also kind of has like, she's like realistic, but she's also kind of like down to earth in a sense. I don't know. I really do like her character though. And I think a lot of people agree. She has appearances in both the second and third season, and she's a pretty big character in both of those seasons. So I'm a little bit biased in their sense too, but she is great. I do love her. Finally we get to King Halo. King Halo has a little bit of the Ojo type, but she's not really Ojo. I feel like there's other characters that are more Ojo than her. Right? If you don't know what that means, the royal type, the like kind of royal king/queen type, hence the name King Halo. But King Halo, kind of, has that type, but on the other side, she's also kind of, just like has a little bit more to her than just that, you know, just being like the oh ho 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 royal laugh sort of, you know, character. You can see like the little hand gesture she's doing. Sorry about my mic. The little hand gesture she's doing is like, oh, I'm so much better than you. But like she actually does. She has a little bit of that inferiority complex based on her mother, who like is also a really good racehorse or really good Uma, and just like kind of living up to her expectations. So has a little bit of depth to her character. But I must still, God, B or C. I'ma put her at a B minus. If I had a B minus, I'd put her there, but I think B is good for now because I don't think she necessarily belongs in this category. But actually, let me think about it. While I'm thinking about it, let me look at her actual character introduction. King Halo. At an Umamusume with an unbreakable spirit, King Halo is ready to overcome any challenge in order to be recognized by all as a first-class lady. Despite their strange relationship, she hopes to one day be recognized by her mother, a first-rate Umamusume and designer, and prove herself as a daughter. Yet to her gaggle of admirers at the academy, there is no doubt in their minds that she is already worthy of the title of king, and they do not hesitate to regularly hail her as such. Yeah, that didn't really help. B or C, B or C, B or C. I think B. C seems like a little too harsh for me for her. So B, I think B. Tannhäuser's an easy S. Tannhäuser's an easy S for me. Okay. What can I say? Machikane Tannhäuser wears hats that has holes in them. That's not her actual character, but that's just something I noticed. Not something I just noticed, but something I noticed with her character whenever I first see her. It's like she has like the hat, you can see the hole in her with the kind of the decoration there. She's just quirky. She's quirky and cute. I think that's the main reason I like her. She has all these kind of mannerisms about her that I just really love. Her AA Moon is really cute. Hold on. Is it Tannhäuser.moe? Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, that's good. Tannhäuser.moe. Biased, but that's also one of my favorite sites. No, not really, but no, it's a cute site. No, but she's really cute. You know, just got her mannerisms about her, but she's also has the positive energy, and she has the support of her hometown, which, you know, calls her Omachi and all that stuff. So she has a little bit more than just the quirks to her, which is why I think she's an S for me. But she is definitely one of my favorite characters. And when she first came out as a 2-star character, I definitely did my best to pull her and get her 3-star costume. So that is definitely an S for me. Ikuno Dictus, another member of Team Canopus. What is because like, okay, she's kind of similar to Biwa Hayahide. You can probably tell because they're both classes characters in that they're kind of cunning. I think here's my problem with Ikuno Dictus. I'm gonna put her a C, but here's my problem with her is that she has a lot of character personality kind of traits that are kind of shared with other Umamusume. Like, for example, she's kind of the smart, planning, cunning type. Biwa Hayahide, I think she has some sort of sickness to her that kind of prevented her from racing so much. Metro Ardon. So it's just like it feels like she's kind of a blend of a lot of Umamusume, and so it's kind of doesn't make her stand out as much to me, which is why I'm just like, she's a bit unremarkable for me in that sense. Metro Palmer, another member of the Gyaru group, also a member of the Metro group. But no, she's like the positive. She's not as Gyaru, but I think in the Gyaru scale, if we put like 1 to 10, 1 being like, who would be a 1? Like maybe Goldse is still pretty Gyaru. Well, okay, I think out of all the Gyaru in the entire Umamusume, if 1 is maybe Gold City and 10 is like a Daitaku Helios, who's the next character in this, I think Metro Palmer would be like a 3, 4. No, 4. I think she'd be like 3. She's not too Gyaru, but she does have the Gyaru mannerisms. And she is kind of like the reliable, I guess, how do I put it? 1 that people come up to and, you know, talk to for advice and stuff like that. So she has a little bit of those aspects, and so I'm gonna put her at an A. In fact, I kind of want to put her at an S. Nah, I think she's an A. I think she's pretty solid as an A. So I think that's pretty good there. Helios, I've already mentioned her. She is 10 on the scale. She's probably even an 11 on a scale of Gyaru. I think it's funny because whenever I hear her dialogue, I'm always just like, what the heck? What am I listening to? It's like I cannot translate her dialogue. It's like she has so much slang and like Gyaru speak that it's just like even people who translate for like not a living but like translate regularly are like, I can't understand what she's saying. It's just, what is she saying? So she is 110% Gyaru, and we love her for that. Do I put her at an A? Or I kind of want to put her at an A. I do like her. Like she, actually, here's the thing. I liked her, but when she came out as a playable character, whenever she came out, and like when I did her training runs with her, she was so like, she's 110% energy. Like she is so much energy, so much all the time. And like I was doing, because I usually do runs like without audio, but I usually do first runs with audio just to kind of get a sense of like how the character speaks, how they act, that kind of thing. I got tired by the time I was done with her run. She was just so much, man. It's just like, I liked her character, but she was just so much energy and just like, oh my god, it just tired me out as an introvert. So I kind of want to put her at a B, but that also feels a little bit harsh. I don't know. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. I know y'all love this. Y'all love this visual content right here. I'm sure y'all are loving that. I'll put her at an A for now. We'll regroup later as we kind of go through more of these. Okay, Twin Turbo. Okay. Probably most people are very familiar with Twin Turbo as kind of one of the, as somebody who had pretty big focus in the second season. She is, I like to describe her best as she has gremlin energy. She is very much a gremlin. And I mean that in a good way, because she is very boisterous, in a sense. She's very, you know, she doesn't take instructions very well. She's not really that smart. She runs full speed every time, and that's why her real life horse counterpart was so popular, is because even though she wasn't successful, she was well known as the horse that just ran full speed, was, you know, like even as the other horses were kind of, you know, pacing themselves, she would just like sprint out of the kind of the starting paddock and just keep going. And if she happened to get enough energy to like, you know, maybe finish, then that's great, but she'd usually run out of energy by the end, and then everybody else would pass her. Which, if you watch the anime, you know that happened, but you also know, you know, it can probably be good. I'm not going to spoil too much, but yeah, you know it could probably be good. Having said that, she's a bit too gremlin for me, so I kind of want to put her at a D, but that also sounds a bit harsh. I'll put her at a C, and in the category of good/bad, not average, because she's definitely remarkable. But I think that she has good counterparts to herself, but I think she's also just way too gremlin for me. And the funny thing is, I don't like gremlin characters, but most of my favorite characters in like series are also kind of have like, maybe not big gremlin energy, but they kind of have that. Like if I'm talking like kind of love life, like Nico's my favorite character from Muse. I kind of have a soft spot for in Nichigasaki. Wait. Yeah, okay. I always get Nichigasaki and Nijisanji confused. I know those are two completely different things. One is Love Live, one is Bane on Earth that everybody hates. Rightfully so. But yeah, in Nichigasaki, Kasumi is one of my, well, I wouldn't say she's my favorite, and I don't really say I don't have a favorite because I'm not really too familiar with that cast of characters. But she actually did grow on me the few episodes I did watch that anime, so I don't know. Gremlin energy does kind of, if it's done right, gremlin energy really can make an impact on me. But usually it's just, I usually don't like it, so that's why she's at a C. Sato no Diamond, I think she's technically supposed to be like an Ojo type character, but she isn't really, I don't know. But yeah, she's one of the main characters of season 3. Friends with Kita, admires McQueen. I'm gonna put her at I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna put her at a C. She's not really, I know she's very popular for reasons that I would not really like to get into. Fan art. For the fan artists, there's some pretty good reasons. I'll just say why she's so popular with the fan artists, but for me, she's alright. She's kind of in the average tier where it's like, yeah, she exists. I don't know. Kita, I kind of put it as Kita-san Black, I put it at a B because I do like her positive energy, and her enka singing, but not enough for it to be an A. So we'll go with that. And she also is surprisingly a really good racehorse and not a good protagonist energy, or not energy, but not good protagonist material because she was too good. And I think that was the main problem with season 3, was that they couldn't really match season 2's, you know, like kind of the drama and the struggles there. And so they had to come up with something, but they didn't really do a good job of, you know, doing that when, you know, your main protagonist had like 6 G1 wins. So kind of hard to do that. Okay, how far are we? We are, I think we're definitely more than halfway. We're starting to get to kind of the newer characters here for sure. But let's continue. Okay, Sakura Chiono. How do I describe her? She's kind of like she's average-ish. Part of that Sakura clan, the Victory Club. Why can't I find her? Am I stupid? Yes, okay, there it is. Sakura Chiono, honest, good, and ordinary Umamusume, admires Maruzensky because she's her granddaughter in real life, and is working hard to be her rival. Every day she records her daily insights in the form of original proverbs. Her notebook, aka the Chio Note, is full of series of exquisite but elusive analogies. Yeah, so she's kind of one of the ordinary, because, you know, in every kind of ensemble, in every cast, there's always kind of an ordinary character. And I say that with like kind of air quotes because, you know, they're not actually ordinary. They're actually pretty good at whatever they do. I'm thinking like in Bang Dream, like Sugumi, you know, is one of my favorite characters because she was like, you know, like regarded as the ordinary girl. But she, you know, like in actuality is super hardworking, ends up, did she end up becoming the student council president? I don't know, but she's definitely like high ranking in the student council, and she does the band, and she works part-time in her family's cafe. So it's like she's really puts a lot of effort into that kind of stuff. And so she's not, and that's why, you know, Mocha calls her, does the whole phrase with sugurific. So it's definitely matching there. So it's a little bit like that with Sakura Shiono, but she is a bit too ordinary for me. Like, if we're talking ordinary Umas that I really like, I think Nice Nature fits that a little bit more. And there's also, in a sense, Tannhäuser also kind of fits that. I think that's actually why I like these two, is because they're kind of quote-unquote ordinary Umas. And I say that like with air quotes because they actually were pretty good in their time. They just weren't compared to like their counterparts, so... That being said, Chiono did, I think she won one of the classic races, the Triple Crown races. So she is still pretty good in that sense. I'm gonna put her at a B. Yeah, I think B is pretty good. Or B is a pretty good rating in that she is good. Not that she is pretty good. Okay, Sirius Symboli. Wait, is that her name? Uh-oh. See, okay. No, yeah, it is Sirius. I don't know why I doubted that. I should know this. Yeah, she's like the confident, like, I don't want to say arrogant, but like in that kind of vein, arrogant Umamusume. Part of the Symboli clan. Has deep voice. C? D? C? D? 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 Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really like her too much. Yeah, I think that fits. Okay. Megiddo Aradan, she's the sickly one. She has the fragile leg, but she tries her best, and she's also kind of... She is also one of the Megiddo family, so she has a little bit of the kind of the royal atmosphere to her. I mean, some of the Megiddo family doesn't have that. I know Megiddo Ryan definitely doesn't have an ounce of that kind of royal highness aspect to her, like the princessy kind of archetype. There are definitely Mejiros that are definitely fit that. There are some more than others. But on the Mejiro scale, we got the Gyaru scale and we got the Mejiro scale. So if one is like Mejiro Ryan, in that not at all kind of royal highness princess sort of kind of character personality types, and then 10 being like, who would 10 be? 10 would probably maybe either be like a Bright or Ramonu, who are like, I think, well, they're both kind of 10s in their own way, but like, yeah, 10 being like, oh, they are absolutely, you would describe them as the princess or like the Ojo-sama type or something like that. So if I had to say that, I'd say Palmer's at a 2, McQueen's probably at like a 7, and then Ardon I would say probably is at like a 6. Actually, no, McQueen's probably an 8. Anyway, all to say, I'd probably put her at a C, B, C, B, C, B, C, B, C. She's honestly kind of unremarkable for me. I did try pulling for her pretty hard when she came out and I didn't get her. I ended up having to use her as a select ticket. So maybe I'll put her at a B because of that, which I know is really shallow reasoning, but we're starting to get to a point where I'm starting to not care too much about... No, I'm just kidding. Where I'm starting to get to a point where I'm getting a bit tired and I need to be a bit quicker about my decisions, so let's quick it up. Okay. Yeah, I know Muteki, she's the martial arts Uma, trains in the dojo. Also kind of the same generation as these two. B. I think they're kind of all kind of fit in the same kind of vein. Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi, oh, the recent, she came out pretty recently, like a month back. She is very fragile, even more fragile than this one. Is in the same generation as Special Week and all those casts, but never got to race in any of the Triple Crown races, and was not really successful in her own right. And also related to Teo, I think, because they're both sons of Symbol Rudolph. I do like her. I like her tenacity. I like her positive can-do attitude despite her kind of having to overcome all of her obstacles. So I'll put her at an A. Okay, Mejiro Bright. Okay, so in the Mejiro scale, the Mejiro Royal scale, she would be at a 10 because she is absolutely 100% like, oh, I am the princess, the Ojo type, but like I like her in a better way because she's like the sleepy princess, I think. She's very, she does things at her very own pace, like her own, like my pace sort of thing, my way, very slow, very kind of, well, not slow in that sense, but like kind of more of a sleepy atmosphere if you can kind of glean from that. I do like her character. I honestly do think I put her in A, along with her roommate, but, and they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. But yeah, I think she would definitely be up there. I like her kind of whole, like, her sleepy nature, so to speak. And I shouldn't use that phrasing. She knows when to compete when it's time to compete. That's the best way for me to put it. I'm not going to say she turns it on. She turns it on. No. Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Daring Tact. So we didn't really get much information about this character because I think she's before the new characters got introduced, she was the newest real life horse to be implemented as Umamusume. In fact, I think she was the only active horse to be implemented as a Umamusume, which is kind of weird because the whole lore of Umamusume is like, oh, these retired horses reincarnate into this world. Oh, sorry for bumping my mic. These real life horses reincarnate into this world of Umas where they live out their kind of real life lives in this Umafied world. And so that notion gets kind of broken by the fact that this Daring Tact is still racing. Now I think she's retired now, so I think that's why they had to wait like 3 years or whatever from introduction to her character to actually having her in the game with a voice actor and actually having personality. Because before this I was like, okay, well, I have no idea what her character is, so I can't really have a fair shot of rating her. But I have taking a look at, and if we actually go into her character introduction, staring tact. Well, first of all, she's one of the triple tiara Umamusume, or triple tiara horses, which means she's very, very good horse racer. But she's cheerful, polite, and strong-minded Umamusume who grew up in the harsh but beautiful wilderness. She trains day and night in order to achieve her dream of proving the magnificence of her homeland, which nurtured her. She is often seen heading to the mountains with her senior daring heart. So I think that's kind of interesting how they emphasize the whole wild aspect, because in the anniversary story, she was actually kind of in one of those, and in that she was kind of in the wilderness just doing with her dirty training clothes, doing whatever, which I actually didn't understand that story because I couldn't understand Japanese there, but that's a little bit different from what I actually thought her character was going to be. But it's kind of interesting. So she's I guess the wild one, but also kind of polite and cheerful, so it's kind of the contrasting kind of aspects there. It's still a little bit too early for me to say like whether I really like her or not. I'll put her at a B, because I think she has the chutzpah. I think you got what it takes, kid. You got the potential to make it in the industry, you know? We'll be keeping an eye on you, but you gotta show us something. Otherwise, you know, it's curtains for you. I'm sorry, that was a really bad accent. Anyway, so yeah, that's Daring Tact. Sakura Laurel, also in the kind of same vein as one, the sickly Uma. Had a bad leg, but also kind of overcame that to be a pretty successful racehorse. Is known for being one of the horses to race in the Arc de Prix La Triomphe, which, if you don't know, is one of the most prestigious races in the world, and many Japanese horses have tried to win it, but none have actually succeeded. And that actually was a plot point for one of the scenarios in the game, where you can go to you can go to France to train and try and win the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, the race of the Arc de Triomphe or whatever. Which, yeah, that's why she's has that personality aspect of the fact that she can speak French, I think, or whatever, and she's like interested in French culture and all that stuff. She has a little bit of a sneaky side to her, as you can tell by the finger, you know, the posture that she has. She has a little bit of a devilish side to her, but I do like her, so I will put her at an A, because I do like the fact that you can kind of see a pattern with some of these kind of races. You know, you have, in the same vein as Tsuyoshi, you know, she has to overcome a lot. She's also, I forgot to mention, the protagonist for a manga that's actually being released right now, Star Blossom, which is, she's the main character for that. I think it's still pretty early. I think they only released 2 or 3 volumes. I could be wrong on that. Translations are a bit behind, so I think it's only like 13 chapters that's been translated, but it's pretty good. I do like it. Sakura Laurel and the rest of the Sakura group, including Sakura Bakshino, Sakura Chiono, and then also, I think we'll get to her eventually, but she is a new character right here, Sakura Chitoseo. You can kind of notice the pattern with the names, if you haven't noticed, by the way. Anyway, Narita Top Road, positive, cheerful, optimistic. You all know her from as the main character of Road to the Top. I put her at an A. A little bit biased because, you know, she is the main character, so she got a lot of screen time from that, and, you know, a lot of character development from that. A little bit more depth to her. I don't know why I'm making this hand motion. You can't see it, but I'm making this weird, the hands together hand motion. Fingers meshing. Anyway, I don't know why I made that. But yeah, A. That's a pretty easy A for me. Yamanin Zephyr, if I describe her personality, she's one of the Umas that can describe her personality in one word. There's a few like that we've already encountered. For Suzuka, it's running. For Die with Scarlet, it's number 1. For Marvelous Sunday, it's marvelous. For Yamanin Zephyr, it's wind. Yeah, I don't know what that means either. No, but basically, Yamanin Zephyr, obsessed with wind, I think, really runs because she wants to be one with the wind or whatever. Let me read her character introduction to get more depth into that. But basically, she is an airy Umamusume who loves nature and the wind, but when she's racing, she overwhelms everyone around her with her gale-like speed. She has a deep admiration for Umamusume she watched as a child, who overwhelmed others in a mile race, and hopes to become the wind like her. So she is basically just the wind. I wouldn't say she's average. I'd say I put her at B. I think she's slightly above average, in the sense that she isn't unremarkable. Like, she has... Like, she how do I say this in the least weird way? She has significance in my brain. Like, if I think of Umamusume, I do think, like, obviously there's a lot more characters I can think of first, but like, she does occupy a little space in the brain recesses in my Umamusume kind of section right here that I'm pointing to that you can't see. But she has that. These characters, I guess maybe not Suzuka, because I mean, some of these characters are main characters, but like, some of these characters are like very forgetful, and I probably forget them if I had to list every single Uma. So that's why they're in C. Okay, okay, now we're moving on to one of the dirt trios. We got Furioso, who, before she got implemented, I would say I had no idea about her personality, but ever since she got implemented as a playable character, she is also one of the characters who we can describe with one word, and that one word is Funabashi, which, if you don't know, that's basically is some city in Japan. And so she is from Funabashi. She races. She was originally from that racetrack. She transferred over to Tracen Academy to try and, I guess, promote Funabashi, which is very similar to another dirt trio horse, which we'll eventually get to. But she's a little bit less intense than that, because with this one, Hoko Tarumae, who is from Tomakomai, she's obsessed with Tomakomai. In fact, I'd say her personality is pretty much Tomakomai, in the sense that she is what they call a local idol, in other words, a local doll. She performs as a local doll, promoting Tomakomai. She basically, you know, her whole costume's about Tomakomai. She only talks really about Tomakomai. That is just basically her personality. Furioso's a little bit less intense than that with her love for Funabashi. She has a little bit more depth to her character, which is why I prefer her a little bit more. Before she got implemented, I'd honestly say she'd probably be a C, because it's like, you know, of the dirt trio, I think her personality's more or less, I guess, noticeable than her other two counterparts, which I'll kind of talk about later. But ever since she got implemented, I honestly do say I do like her. So I would say, honestly, this is going to be amazing to me. I put her at an A, actually. Well, no, A or B. Because the thing is, other than her Funabashi thing, she is, what else is she? She's a little bit, here, actually, let's read her. Let's read her character archetype, as if that's going to help. She is a special exchange student hailing from Funabashi's Tracen Academy. If you don't know, Tracen Academy is short for Training and Center Academy. So, I know, it's really funny, but anyway. Although sincere and quiet most of the time, yeah, that's the thing. She's quiet, sincere. She's kind of the more, like, the laid-back horse or character, which I think is something I really appreciate. There's nobody who loves Funabashi more than her. She was raised there into her life in order to prove that Funabashi has some serious strength. She has but one goal in mind as she steps into Tracen Academy to beat the competition and overrule Central Racing. So yeah, I honestly think A is pretty good, which, if you asked me before she got implemented, I would be surprised that she'd be this high, but I do like her character. But if we're talking other characters, I would say Transcend, her counterpart, is an absolute S tier for me, and that's absolutely no question. Now, I will readily admit that Transcend is a bit of a waifu bait character, or a little bit of a kind of otaku bait character. How do I describe her? She's basically just like very, maybe the character introduction might help me talk about her a little bit, because she is ... a information savvy Umamusume who loves delving into subcultures. She has a keen eye for the latest gadgets, and her curiosity about what's new and cool always thrills her every day. An excellent communicator, Transcend has the ability to pop into any group and join their conversation, hungry for the information she might find out. So she's basically kind of just like an otaku in a sense, and I think that's why there's accusations sometimes of her being like similar to if you know Danganronpa, Chiaki, who in the second game, she's like the ultimate video gamer, and people are always like, oh, she's such a waifu bait character, or like a, you know, bait character, like she's made to be, you know, like the waifu bait, like everybody, like it's just like, oh, she's a video gamer just like me, and it's like that's why people like her so much. And so that's kind of, I guess, I feel I can kind of see the same argument with Transcend, with her being so information savvy, otaku sense in that way, with the glasses especially. But I still like her. She has a playful personality also, and she also is kind of, you know, she knows when to, you know, be playful. She knows when to be serious, that kind of thing. And I do think that she is a bit of a nerd overall. And what's funny is that in the main story, I think, and I haven't read her story, but I've heard that her story actually is pretty much that her trainer, before her trainer became her trainer, she actually knew him, and they'd exchange information about Umamusume with each other, and eventually she was like, oh, why don't you just become my trainer? And it's like, okay, sure. And then so that's how they came, you know, that level of their relationship. And maybe even more, who knows? I don't want to go into that route because I don't really like, you know, the whole shipping of the trainer and Umamusume, because that just leads into accusations of, I don't want to talk about it, but, you know, it's just like, that can go into whole aspects of grooming, and I'm just like, questionable, because every time I think of that, I'm just like, you know, I think of the scandals that I've had, and I know this is probably getting a bit too much into real life, but I just think of the, you know, the scandals of like coaches, like youth coaches, and how they you know, like because the athletes were like, you know, always in training and stuff and relied on them so much that they developed this relationship that was very questionable. And so every time I see like trainer versus trainer x Uma shipping, I'm just like, no, I don't like it. And I know technically it's canon because I think Mr. CB in the story, her mother is an Umamusume and her father was her former trainer, which I'm always just like, I don't know about that, man. That's questionable. I'm just like, big yikes, but I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, Transcend's good. I like her. And I also do like how she takes off her glasses for her race outfit, which I always thought was really funny, because you can see she's not wearing glasses here, but she wears her glasses normally. So it's all just fake. She doesn't actually need her glasses. It's all just aesthetic. Maybe. Or maybe she wears contacts. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway. Espar City. Okay, Espar City is another kind of form of gyaru. She's kind of the rebellious gyaru. I think she's like the, how do I describe it? She's like the rebellious teenager plus gyaru combined into kind of one character. And so if we were to go into back to the gyaru scale, if we say like 1's Gold City, 10's Daitaku Helios, I'd say Espar City's probably at a 6.5. 7. You can tell, you know, her the little V that she's doing, her the makeup, not makeup, but like her kind of the hairstyle that she has. You can tell, like, based on her character. Like, if you look at her, you'd be like, yeah, that looks like a gyaru. So she definitely has that aspect to her. So she's a little bit rebellious, little bit, you know, I guess punk in that sense. I put her at a B. I don't really necessarily think she's, you know, average or good bad in the sense. I think, well, it's honestly still too early to say. I'll say this. I haven't read too many stories with her. I haven't seen too many interactions with her. All of the interactions I've seen from her have been really limited to Furioso and Transcend stories. And I think she's been in a few other event stories, if I recall, question mark. But it's all been very limited. So this is still kind of an early rank, but I think this, similar to Daring Tact, I think Espar City has the potential. So anytime she gets implemented, you know, this rating's absolutely subject to change, you know, go up or go down, but I think B is at a pretty good place right now. Northflight is the fashion Umamusume. She's obsessed with fashion. She is the fashionista, gives everybody fashion advice, that kind of thing. So her personality can be described in one word, and that one word is fashion. I would say, I have to be honest, she's kind of unremarkable for me, so I'll put her at a C. And that's that. Okay, Symbolic Chris S. She is she's like more the quiet one. She doesn't say that much. She uses a lot of English, which I find funny because her English is very Japanese English. It's very accented. It's like, yes, or like special or something like that. It's just like she really emphasizes the English, and she talks in like, you know, the dot dot dots, you know, the ellipses, is that what it is? But like she talks with those kinds of things, so she's very sort of quiet in that sense. She has that, I guess, this like civic, yeah, taciturn, emotionless foreign exchange student who places the utmost importance on efficiency and winning percentage in racing, obsessed with results because she wants to fulfill her duty to who she's indebted to. That is to say, she has a very noble spirit. She is also kind of technically featured in the Umayon Chibi Uma shorts. So she has a few episodes in that to kind of do a little bit more into her character. That one episode that I think she's one of the first episodes where she's like, you know, walking around and everybody's so afraid of her that they like, you know, like for example, like Special Week like takes all the food from the cafeteria, but like simply Chris S is like right behind her. She's like, oh, she has the last plate, and she's like, oh, I'll just give you the food, and she doesn't even say anything. Or like when what's his face, Meisho Doto is like, you know, like trying to decide what drink she wants to get, and she notices Chris S is behind her, and then she freaks out about that, and then she's like, oh no, I'll get you this drink, and then, you know, causes a mess. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'll give you this drink, and then it's just like she didn't even say anything, or like Chris S didn't even say anything, and then at the end of the episode she's like, oh, everybody's so nice. It's just like, oh, they gave me this free stuff, and it's like, wow, everybody's so kind, but it's like, you know, everybody's actually secretly afraid of her. So that, I think that kind of encapsulates her personality. And having said that, I would put her at B. Yeah, B. Okay. Tanino Gimlet. Okay, Tanino Gimlet's a really interesting character because if I had to describe her in one word, chunibyo. She is 100% a chunibyo. She is very, and if you don't know what that is, she's basically like very edgy. Think like, you know, edgy 14-year-old who's like, oh, like I'm like the Dark Lord. I have special powers. I'm so much better than everybody. That kind of thing. She has a habit of kicking fences, which comes from her real life horse, who even retired still likes to kick fences. She does it as a point to be like cool. She has an obsession with being cool. She's very close to Vodka because in real life Gimlet is Vodka's father, and they both won the Nippon Derby, Japanese Nippon Derby, and so they kind of share the same, like, you know, like, oh, aspirations for coolness. But I will say in this, so I'll preface this by saying, generally, I don't like these type of characters, you know, chunibyo characters, the like, oh, like, you know, like, I'm so cool, I'm obsessed with this idea of cool. Generally, I don't like them. But I'm gonna put her at A. And here's why. Actually, I don't really have a reason why. It's weird, right? Because it's like, I don't generally like these archetypes of characters, but like, something about her, I guess, not personality, like something about her personality, plus like all the kind of little aspects of her just really are endearing to me in a sense. And I'm actually not annoyed by her dialogue or any of her actions, which is surprising because like usually chunibyo characters and like her usually character archetype is really annoying for me. So it's interesting to see how, like, you know, like, oh, at first you'd be like, oh, like I don't think I'm gonna like this character, but like when you actually give them a chance, you're like, wait, I actually kind of like them. It's kind of interesting, you know, subverts your expectations. And also, side note, she has the best casual outfit in the game. Dude, I love her casual outfit. It's so good. Dude, can I hold on? Tanino Gimlet. Do they have a casual outfit here? No, probably not. Yeah, she has a unique aesthetic and acts in accordance to a strong desire to be swift enough to run a mile, strength to dominate middle distance, while showing off her average talent. Vodka always seems to look at her with a sparkle in her eyes, also a god of destruction, who kicks down fences to appeal to others. It's basically her thing. Oh, this doesn't show her full outfit though. But let's see. Tanino Gimlet. Oh, yeah, this. That's kind of blurry though. Umamusume casual outfits, maybe? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this, I don't know why, but this fits. Chef's kiss. Like, oh man. And if I have to be frank, I wish I could pull this off. Like this, that's badass. I don't know. It's the how do I want to just keep describing this? I feel like the more I describe this, the more creepy I'm becoming. It's just like, oh man, the thigh highs plus the garter belt, the jacket, the colors, the jacket. It's just like, oh man. I don't know. It just hits. It hits. But enough talking about outfits, because that's we're starting to get into creepy territory. So back to the tier list. Okay, Daichi Ruby. She is one of the royal characters. She acts all royal. She's trying to be like, you know, like the princessy type. She's doesn't really have too much emotions going for her. She's also kind of in a love triangle with Daitaku Helios, who really loves her for some reason, which I think is really funny. I know that's based on real life, but I think it's really funny that the Gyaru, the 11 out of 10 Gyaru, somehow has a crush on this like princessy type character who it feels like doesn't have any commonalities with her. But for some reason, they're kind of matched up together in that sense. And I think that's really hilarious. But she's also in the love triangle with this character, KS Miracle, who I think she actually likes her. So, and that matches up to real life because, of course, it does. All the relationships are based on real life. That's how it works. All right, Mejiro Ramonu. She's how do I describe her? I will let the character description describe her. She is brilliant and elegant. Thank you. Okay. I was like, I had the word on the top of my list. Hey, Blue Giant, what's up? Yeah, we're doing a tier list. I am rating all 130 Umamusume. We're getting pretty close to the end, though, I want to say. But yeah, we are getting there. But yeah, Ramonu, elegant, I think is the right way to describe her. Yeah, the elegance. Ojo-sama? Yeah, Ojo-sama. There's a lot of Uma. Yeah, no, it's a lot of Umas. They keep adding more and more, man, and there's still like a whole list that I think they should. People argue that there should be like there's Umas, there's real life horses out there that are like really good that they can't get the rights to, so it's like kind of a weird missing gap in the stories, but there's definitely a whole list of, you know, real life horses that they can pull from. So there's no shortage of characters that they can kind of introduce. But they introduced, I think, like 7 in the recent anniversary. So those are kind of the 7 in the bottom here. Anyway. Yeah, but Ramonu is the, what is it? Brilliant, elegant Umamusume, stands out from the rest of the Mejiro family. Awe-inspiring beauty, charming beauty, truly magical, captivating people. Devotes everything to her love for racing, nothing can come in between. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of her character. Ramonu, she's a bit too... She's like the high-ranking noble who's like, oh, I'm so much better than you, like stuck up sort of thing, like has that same energy. And I was not really looking forward to pulling her, to be honest. Do they have that one horse that fooled people into thinking it could do math? I mean, I think the closest probably might be Air Shakur. She's like the whole her whole shtick is that she's obsessed with data and trying to like calculate, like she's very logical, like she's trying to be like, oh, like trying to like calculate everything with data, and like do analyses with that. So maybe that, I mean, that's probably the closest Uma to like anything math related. None of them are really obsessed with numbers, to be honest. But yeah, Ramonu's probably actually D's probably no, D's right. D seems harsh, but I think I don't really like her that much, to be honest. Okay, Aston Machan. Okay, Machan's an interesting character. So to understand Machan, I think you need to understand her real life horse, which she died early. Really early. Like she was the same counterpart as Vodka and Daiwa Scarlet, but I think she ended up dying like at the age of 2 or 3. So her Umamusume, and by the way, I'm gonna put her at S. But her Umamusume is basically trying to be like, oh, like, don't forget about me, and like she's trying to become like the best mascot, or like she's trying to like her character model is literally just her holding her doll, like her little like kind of mini doll of herself, which is this thing here. Yeah, it's just literally her holding like her little marketable plushie. And yeah, she carries a Machan doll and will approach any camera she sees. That's the other thing too, is that her first appearance was the OVA before, or like the 3rd anniversary OVA that came out before the 3rd season of the anime. And she like photobombed every scene that she was that kind of showed up, even though she wasn't introduced prior to that. She was just like, you know, every time the camera would like switch angles, she would like be in the scene, like in the background. And so try approaching a camera she sees. Particularly strange, Umamusume, one of her hobbies is recording voice memos. Her dream is to become a mascot that spans the whole world. Behind her cloud-like fluffy words, it seems there may be a certain desire. Basically, she wants to not be forgotten. I think that's her whole shtick. Curse of the marketable plushie. Unfortunately, yeah, I say marketable plushie, but I don't think they've actually ever released like these types of plushies in real life, which is really unfortunate. I really wish they released those. Then again, I don't know how the heck they do that with all the characters, so they might have to start with a few, but they have to release this. I mean, come on. It's free money, side games, gotta do it. But yeah, she is an S tier. Well, actually, S or A? It's hard. It's like right on the edge of S and A, because she is, I do really like her, but there are some, she's a bit too, like, she refers to herself in the 3rd person. She's a bit childlike. Has a bit of a childlike aspect that I find a bit questionable sometimes, which is why I kind of want to just drop her down to A, but I don't know. Tell you what. Well, No, I'll put her at S, and here's why. I do like to train. Well, that sounds really bad. I do like to use her in. How do I say this in the least sus way? I like to use her in training runs a lot. Or like I like to use her. I'll just say it. I like to use her in stadiums a lot. Like I try to have her like, you know, in my stadium team. And so I do a lot of runs with her. So I think that probably is a sign of something. So we'll just keep her at an S. Okay, let's go with that. How many characters do we have left? Good God. How many characters are in here? 13, no, 14 times 3 is 42. We have 43 characters left, everybody. Whew, all right. We are making pretty good progress. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna move on. Okay. Sato no Crown. Okay, easy C. I think she's pretty unremarkable. She was a... God, I don't even know how to describe her. She was one of the characters in season 3 because she was in that kind of art. She was in that cast of characters. In fact, I can't even describe her person. I'd have to go to the wiki here real quick. Sato no Crown. Sato no Crown is a cheerful and determined... She's an older sister? What? I did not know that. Wait, I did not know that. Really? They did not really talk about that in her story or anything. Weird. Okay. Cheerful and determined older sister who lives in both Hong Kong and Japan, also one of the talented members of the Sotono family, carries the family's high expectations. So Sotono family is basically, I think, like not a lesser, but like a mini version of the Mejiro family. Same kind of, I guess, royal lineage, in a sense. She has a personality that burns more brightly in the face of adversity and sometimes solves problems as brilliantly as magic. Her name is Kura-chan. Yeah, she's kind of forgettable for me, to be honest. And she didn't really play that big of a role in the anime, which didn't help either, so... C. Okay. Oh, Cheval Grand. Okay. This is going to be very interesting. So when they first introduced Cheval Grand, and like when she first appeared in, I think, like one of the anniversary stories, I really liked her. Like I would have put her like close to like an S or an A. But honestly, okay, so she's basically like the middle sister. She has like her older sister is here, her younger sister is here, but she's like the introvert compared to the extroverted other two. She's kind of that like the what do you call it? The maybe the character description might have a better way of putting it, because I have a word in mind. She's like the black sheep of the family in a sense. Like she's introverted, withdrawn, and has an inferiority complex about her talented older and younger sister. Spends her time working hard to hopefully surpass them one day and have her own abilities acknowledged. She's not on bad terms with either of her siblings, but they both have glamorous temperament, which makes her a bit out of place when they're together. So she's shy, she's very, very reserved, doesn't really talk much. She has a hat, which I found an interesting archetype, which is, I found that characters with hats I generally prefer, and I cannot explain why, but like I actually do. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Ines Fujin so much, is because she has the visor. If she didn't have the visor, I would be completely honest in saying she would probably not be my favorite character, which I realize is really a stupid reason to say that, but hey man, character design, it's a thing. So yeah, Cheval Grand, she has the hat, so love the hat. And they all have the kind of hat there, so the victory, the V, because they all have V's in their names. So Cheval Grand, we have Virginia, we have Vivlos. They all have like the little V hats right there, all part of the same family. They all have kind of the same similar eye pattern with the pupils right there. But Cheval Grand is a little bit like, okay, I like the shy kind of personality trait, so that's why I had her so high up initially. But if I have to be honest, she's a little too shy. Like I wish she was a little bit more confident in herself. And I know that sounds really, what's the right word? That sounds really stuck up to say, like, oh, you're too shy. Like, and I know that's the bane, as a shy person myself, that's the bane of somebody saying that. It's just like, oh, you're too shy. It's like, oh, you're too quiet. Or it's like, oh, you're really shy, It's just like, I hate when people say that. So like me saying that as to her character just seems like me being the biggest hypocrite. And I'm still putting her in A because I still do like her, but she could have been an S if she like was a little bit more confident in herself. Like the anime version of her is honestly S tier. I think it's the right level of shyness, of introversion, but also has like the confidence in herself, in her abilities. And sure, she has like, a little bit of the self-doubt coming from the fact that she hasn't won a G1 race before her sisters. And then, all of her contemporaries also win above her and all that stuff. But it's just like, even with that, like, I think that she still has enough of that confidence to be able to win races. And I think that the anime version of her is my favorite version of her. The game version of her is just a little bit too much, is a little bit too bumbly of a mess. It's just like a little bit too much for me, but still a good character in her own right. And I do like her in her starting future outfit. You can see she takes off her hat and you get to see what she actually looks like without the hat. It is not bald. She is not bald. None of the characters are bald. Maybe someday we'll have a bald Umamusume. I don't know how that's going to work, considering even the short-haired Umamusume girls have hair that kind of covers their ears. So, I don't even know how that's going to work, but bald. Yeah, earception. Yeah, you got the ear covers and then the little ears there. I mean, there are a few characters that, like Vodka, who, yeah, you can see, like, they have, like, the kind of these like kind of decorations here where their ears should be, but like even like the short-haired Umas, like here, like Sakura Laurel or Meiji Orion, who's known for like having short hair, like you can see like it's still covering like where their ears would be, so they don't have to like be like, oh, like they so they don't have to hide the fact that it's just like they only have the Uma ears instead of the human ears. Do any of the Umas have like eye blinders that horses use? Some of them kind of have that incorporated in their design, like Gold Ship has like these little kind of like things here that cover where her ears should be. That's that could count as that. There was a new character that got introduced, Lucky Lilac, yeah, here, who her decorations here kind of also look like that as well. So it's kind of incorporated in some of the designs, but they don't actually like use that, so it's not really incorporated in there. But moving on to the older sister, Virginia, who everybody's waiting for her to be playable. It's the whole meme at this point. There's always the one character who like the community memes about like, oh, like we're still waiting for her to be, you know, to be in the gacha. It's like we're waiting, you know. First it was who was it? It was Tama Macross. We were waiting for her for a while. Then it was who else was it? Who else had that meme with their characters? Tama Macross was a pretty popular one. Biko Pegasus was kind of like that because it was like 7 years between the time she was introduced, which was when the first series first got like kind of really implemented, way back before the anime and the game. But she took a while to get implemented. Who else? I feel like there was another like big meme character that was like, oh, we're waiting for her, but like she hasn't been implemented yet. I guess Orphe, I guess Gentle Donna. In a sense, Jungle Pocket might have been another good one. But Virginia, we're still waiting for her. We know you're up there somewhere. Please come home soon. We're waiting for you. But Virginia is kind of the three sisters, she's kind of the more, I guess, has the more Ojo-sama type vibes to her. Like she's very like, oh, elegant and like very like, oh, like I am the older sister to all of y'all and stuff like that. So she also has an inferiority complex over the number 2 because she is the same generation as Gentle Donna, who is probably one of the most powerful horses in both Umaverse and real life, and so she just happened to unfortunately be in the same generation as her, and so she placed second in every single triple tiara race that they raced against each other, and I don't think she actually won any single races against her. So she thinks she's her rival, she doesn't think of her as a rival. It's kind of that sad like little relationship there. I like Virginia. Maybe not that much. Maybe I'll put her at a B. I do like her, not that much. Meanwhile, little sister Vivlos, you can probably tell by the little pose that she has there. Very cheerful, very Genki. She's kind of mischievous in a sense, very kind of a little bit spoiled, maybe even. She wants to be a celebrity. She wants to race in like Dubai because her real life horse did a few races in Dubai to kind of win there. And she also, if I can find a picture, she has the what do you call it? Like the cat mouth, the little three mouth. There are a few horses that there are a few Uma that have that, but she is the best example of that. If I can find a good picture, this is honestly probably a good picture, but like, yeah, you can see she has the little cat mouth. Let me try to find a better example. Is this a better example? Not really. Is this a better example? Not really. Well, anyway. Yeah, she's like that. So mischievous, you know, a little playful, but she is, you know, she's cute. I like her, so we'll put her in A along with her sister. Okay. Ooh, Dansu Flame. Okay, this is one of the Uma that I'm highly anticipating waiting for her to be in the game as a playable character. She is in the game. She has a few support cards, and she does have a role in the newest movie because she was in the same generation as Jungle Pocket, Agnes Tachyon, Manhattan Cafe. But she's kind of in the similar vein as Nice Nature and Machikana Tannhäuser, and that's why I'm going to probably put her in an S, which might be a bit premature because I don't really know her too much yet, but I really like her character. She's kind of like that kind of archetype of ordinary Uma. Like, she thinks she's ordinary, she has the ordinary personality that contrasts with the kind of the clashing, not clashes, but kind of contrasts with her counterparts of Mad Scientist, Agnes Tachyon, or Haunted Coffee Lover, or Manhattan Cafe, or a rowdy wild girl, Jungle Pocket. Like, compared to those, she's super normal. But I've always had a soft spot for those sort of characters, which is why, you know, these characters are up here in like my S tier. And so even though I have very limited experience with her, and you know, this is also kind of with the caveat that I haven't watched the movie yet. I will do that very soon. I need to watch the movie that she's in. But yeah, she is an S tier for me, and I am highly anticipating her being playable in the mobile game. KS Miracle. Okay, so Miracle is as in kind of, you can tell by her name, she's also, this seems to be a common trope in the Umamusume verse, the injured ones. The injured ones is as sad as that is. But that's true, you know, there are horses that, you know, they get injuries and then they have to be euthanized or like put down or stuff like that. Unfortunately, no, we can't really do that. But anyway, like Suzuka, like in the anime, like, you know, when she got her injury, like she just went to America. I put that in air quotes. She went to America. Oh, she went to a farm in America, you know, she didn't die. She just went off to a farm upstate, that kind of thing. But KS Miracle always kind of had a like was, I guess, very injured as a young Uma, and then by the power of Miracle was able to recover and, you know, race in these Uma races. And so because of that, she wants to spread that kind of the miracle that she experienced to other people. And so that's kind of her whole nobleness. She's very prince-like. I think she's princely, you know, you can probably tell by the short hair as well, but she has the princely aspect to her. And you can definitely tell that by her racing outfit too. Some of the characters' racing outfits are very, I wouldn't, masculine. That's probably the right way of putting it. Like you can see here, like this is just like absolute like prince energy. So, and some of them are just absolutely princess energy, like Kawakami Princess, who you could probably tell by the freaking name. The aforementioned Kawakami Princess. Why can't I find you? Kawakami Princess, who her outfit is literally just her dress. Why didn't that work? There we go. It's literally just this princess. So, you know, you got the whole spectrum over there. But KS Miracle, I have to be honest, I probably put her at a C. Like, I don't think she's good bad. I think she just exists, and she's all right, but she's just kind of unremarkable. Jungle Pockets. The main protagonist of the beginning of a new era is, what is that movie called? I should know by now, and I feel really stupid for not knowing off the top of my head, but beginning of a new era. This movie that I still need to watch. She is the protagonist of that movie, and she is former delinquent who ran street races, who was captivated by Fuji Kiseki, and decided to enroll into Tracing Academy to race in official sanctioned races instead. You can tell she's wild because she has the little kind of little scar, little kind of thing on their ear there, the little scar. But I put her. I'm gonna preliminarily put her at an S, because I like her kind of tomboyishness. I like her kind of tenacity, her energy. She's one of my favorite characters to train in the game, and I'm sure this rating is probably going to improve once I actually watch the movie and get a better understanding of the depth of her character. So honestly, it's probably like SA, like a ranking between there, but I'm gonna put benefit of my doubt, and I'm just gonna put her at an S for now, because I think that's probably gonna be where I end up putting her in anyway. Believe. Okay, Believe. Where are her gen mates? She has 2 other gen mates. Okay, so Believe's kind of you'll notice that there's kind of a pattern of like threesomes. Not in that way, but three Umas, you know, like kind of three, there's the dirt trio, there's BNW, there's like Jam, which is Agnes Tachyon, Jungle Pocket, Manhattan Cafe. Similarly, Believe is part of kind of a trio of 3 sprinters. There's Believe, there's Calstone Light O, and then there's Durandal. These 2 have already come out with playable characters. Believe has not. So I actually don't know too much about Believe. I know she's the more serious of the three. Like, these two are absolutely quirky in their own way, which I'll kind of talk about once I get to them. But Believe is more of kind of the more serious Uma. Like, she's possessed with an adamant conviction. This Umamusume has the makings of a what the frick is a Meister? What? What is a Meister? Meister. Master. Why don't they use Master? Why don't they just use Master? What? Why do they have to use Meister? Okay. Possessed with an adamant conviction, this Umamusume has the makings of a master, champion, whatever. She has the patience and resilience to silently work towards her goal until the work has been done with care and perfection. Isn't that German for master? Yeah, that sounds about right. German horse. You think that she's a German horse? Nah, you got it wrong. I'm sorry. You missed this. This is the German horse. Right here. This is the German horse. Miss Aishin Flash. Literally, I think her chapters are in German. No, her chapter titles are in German. She is German, but anyway, Believe. Patience and resilience to cyclically work towards their goal, and the work has been done with care and perfection. Uncompromising when it comes to speed, holding to believe that fastness comes from persistence. She dedicates herself to the path of short distance races. It has been said that she's pretty attached to her grandpa. Not German, flavor fail. Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm curious. I gotta go to the official site, because I wonder, that's probably just a translation. This word is probably just a translation choice, and I'm wondering what they actually say in like the actual character, like the Japanese character description. So let me actually check that, because I'm actually curious. While we're on the side tangent, Believe. Yeah, I can totally read that. What is? Hold on, I have translation. Translate. A horse girl with a strong belief in craftsmanship. Okay, so that's probably just whoever translated that just probably used that word, but I don't know. That's an interesting word choice for sure. I would have gone with something else. Anyway, she's serious. She's there. We don't really know too much about her again, because really the only dialogue and kind of interactions I've seen with her are with her kind of her genmates, which these two are crazy, so it's kind of hard to really get a good sense of her character. I'm gonna put her at a B. I know that's kind of crazy. I would normally put her at a C. Here's why, and this is going to be a really stupid reason. Look at her race outfits. Look at her race outfit and tell me that that is just not ridiculous. Like, look at it. Like it's you have like it's like the shorts, but then you have like the jacket, but then it's zipped and then it's unzipped, and then it's like I don't even know. It's like, what the hell is this? Like, what is that? I know, right? There are some race outfits that I'm just like, how do you wear this in like an actual race? Like, I don't, the aerodynamics, it just seems like it just doesn't feel like it works, like, at all. I think my favorite example of that is Miho no Bourbon, who, that just does not work as a, like, she's dressed up technically as a cyborg, but it just doesn't look like it works at all as like a race outfit. Like, you're telling me that this is a race outfit, that this is something that you would wear as like a race, like something to like in a competitive race atmosphere? Like, excuse me? Like what? Like, that's like, there's so many things I could describe. Like the tail, like this thing floating in the tail, these little kind of dangly things, like her shoes, like the flaps. Like, I feel like the flaps would hit your feet. Like, my biggest complaint about the Uma, like and obviously, you know, suspension of disbelief, so it's like, okay, well, you gotta, like, you know, like, ignore all that sometimes, but there are a lot of costumes that I'm just like, these are not good for, like, actually, like, if you actually had to race in these, you would suffer very much. There are some characters that have straight up capes. I'm thinking like Tam Opera O, they have straight up capes on their outfits, and I'm just thinking that would cause so much drag when you're racing, that it would be so uncomfortable to have to like race. You're like literally, you are debuffing yourself by wearing this cape. It's just like it would cause so much resistance. This Cheval Grand also has that too with her outfit. It's just like the whole cape here, like when she's running, and it's just like that doesn't seem like that's a good idea. Like there's a whole like exercise where you have like the kite that's attached to your back to cause wind resistance so that you have a harder time running. Like this is literally like what this is, like Genshin Impact cape. Yeah, literally, it's just like, you know, just for design. It's just like, it's not actually practical at all. And she has Cheval Grand there because people, it's like, in case she forgets who she is, she has a little name tag there, so good for her. Anyway, that's a big tangent. Anyway, yeah, believe. Where did I put her again? B? Yeah, that's about right. She has potential. She's like in the group that has potential, like with Espoir City and Daring Tact. Still kind of too early to say, but I put her at a B for now because I think she has good potential to be a character I like. No Reason. No Reason. One of my favorite names in the whole cast. No Reason. I think her whole shtick is that she wants to be like a samurai. Or, I'm sorry, she wants to become a shogun. Which, if you don't know, is like a head samurai or something like that. True warrior who employs the techniques of the warring state superior to win battles via jousting. I don't think you're in the right sport. I think you signed up for the wrong event there. But No Reason. Another character that has not been implemented yet. She's had a few smatterings with interactions with other characters that are in her generation, but she's still it's still too early to say, and honestly I put her at a C because it's still kind of too early. She is a part of the military state for what that is worth, I guess. Anyway, Still in Love. I guess technically the titular, however you pronounce that, the titular character of the Party Dash game. I think the best way to describe her is, people think, like, you can probably tell based on her appearance, she gives off yandere vibes, but she kind of has like the double personality where, like, normally she's like very reserved, quiet, but when she like when her impulses take over, she's like fierce. She's like, oh, like, I need to win this race. Like, she's very, I guess, feral, if the best way of putting it. So she has a little bit of that two-sidedness to her. She also has not been implemented yet. I think she's also somebody whose people are waiting for. But I'm gonna put her, again, it's still too early to say, although she did have some pretty good, she had a lot of lines in the game, so it was a pretty good introduction for her. I'm gonna put her a C. I know that seems pretty low, but C. Okay, now we're moving on to the original Dirt Trio. We got Koppano Riki, we got Hoko Tarumae, and then we got Wanderer Cute. Koppano Riki, similar to the aforementioned Machikane Fukukitaru, she is fortune-telling. She's kind of the spiritual Uma, I guess. Although instead of Fukukitaru being kind of the traditional kind of type, she's more obsessed with feng shui. And that comes from her owner, Mr. Koppa, who is like a feng shui expert or whatever. I don't know what that means, but she has her whole, like, you know, feng shui routine. She's like happy, lucky, Ricky, and she's pretty cheerful. She's also surprisingly tall. Like, when they first introduced her, I remember fan arts showing her like being really short, but like when they actually released her, like made her a playable character, she's actually one of the taller characters in the game. So it's like this weird dichotomy where it feels like she has short girl energy, but she's actually like fairly tall for like the cast members, like among the cast members. Anyway, she's an A. She's an A for me. Hoko Tarumae, I mentioned her before. She's the local idol, the local doll. She's obsessed. Her character, her personality can be described in one word: Tomakomai, which is some rural city in Hokkaido. She's like the tourist ambassador there. She's trying to be a local idol to promote her hometown. Very similar to Furi also, except I think she's a little bit more obsessed with that and a little bit more based her character around that, so that's why I put her at a B. Wonder Cute, her whole shtick is that she is grandma. She is literally a grandma. She acts like a grandma. She speaks like a grandma. She still uses a flip phone. She doesn't know how to use it. She is old. And I think that comes from the fact that her real life horse kept racing until like she was like, or he was 6 or 7, which is super old for like a racing horse. I think they usually retire at like 4 or 5, but like this one kept racing until like they were old. So that's why she's like the grandma, and like everybody treats her like the grandma. Hold on. I need to find a voice clip of her, because if you listen to her, she is 100% grandma. For sure. She is absolute grandma. Let me pause my BGM for a little bit. I think each character profile should have a little voice line that they do. So yeah, it's right here. Yeah, right? It's like, that is 100% grandma. Like, that is my grandma right there. Like, absolutely. And there are little character quirks I like about her. Because she is grandma, she's apparently like kind of slow with learning, which that's not being ageist. That's not saying grandmas can't learn, old people can't learn, that kind of thing. But that's just her character personality. She's also really likes boxing for some reason. So like some of her like in her training scenario, like some of her like voice lines involve her like doing punches and like whoo, like, you know, doing that kind of thing, which is just comes out of nowhere. But I do love that. So she's an A. I do like her. Okay. Oh man. Okay, here we go. This is a character I really have no idea about. This is like, so this is Samson Big. This is, honestly, this is pretty much just a copy of Haru Urara. She is basically, I think she was the same generation as Narita Bryan, Sakura Roro, you know, those horses. She got, I think, like next to last in every single one of the Triple Crown races. So she's not actually a good racer at all, but she's in the academy for some reason. And so she's very, very similar to Haru Urara in that sense. So that's kind of why I'm just at a C for her, because it's just like, it's still too early to say, obviously. Like, she's probably going to get implemented in the future. I mean, she will be. She is a horse girl. Obviously, she's in the roster. I'm curious how she differs from Haru Urara, because she feels honestly like a copy of her, in a sense, without the whole, like, cheerfulness, determination, and the loss streak. So it feels like a kind of a less... it feels harsh to say, but it does feel like she's kind of a lesser copy of her. Sorry about it. Okay. Sounds of Earth. Okay, Sounds of Earth, which Japanese pronunciation just makes her sound like Sounds of Ass, which that just I'm sorry, it's so immature, but man, it's literally, if you look at the katakana, it's like literally Sounds of Asu, which if you read it in a different way, it's literally just Sounds of Ass, and I'm just like, why? It's like, it's so bad. It's like, oh my god, really? It's like, okay. I don't want Sounds of Ass. No, I want Sounds of Earth. Yeah, Sounds of Asu. I know that it's supposed to be an emphasis on the A, so it's like Asu, but they really couldn't come up with a better pronunciation for that. Anyway, she's the musical. So if Tam Opera O is the theater kid, she's the band kid. She's very obsessed with music. She plays the violin a lot, which if you watch the 3rd season of the anime, you're familiar with her. She's also not really that well. I think she's regarded as the best the best horse to never win a G1 race. So in that sense, she's successful, but she's never won a G1 race. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, I don't hate her, but I don't really like her. So let's put her at a C. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. This one. So I don't know how I feel about this character. So this is Voice and Royce. She got introduced during the 3rd season of the anime, also in Team Canopus, which means she wasn't as successful as some of these other horses. I don't really know what her personality is, and I'll try and read the character description that the game gives, but A smart Umamusume that excels at working independently. In order to become the strongest Umamusume, winning over people's hearts, she diligently studies how to appeal to fans in addition to her racing. In front of fans, she acts hardworking but does not let that character show for others. She is truly a demon of self-production. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, that just... Like, and even, like, in the anime, and, like, even in, like, the short snippets of the story that she's in the game, like, I don't know what her personality is. It's just weird. It's like, I don't know what she is, so... I don't want to put her at a D. I think I'll put her at a C, because she's just, like, I don't really know who she is. She's just a character? Yeah? Alright, cool. Okay. Katsuragi Ace. Okay, Katsuragi Ace is a contemporary of Mr. CB, kind of similar to Vergina in that she was kind of placed behind her in every single race. I don't think she placed second in every single race, similar to Vergina, but she kind of was similarly kind of in the shadow of Mr. CB, although she did win a few G1 races in her own right anyway, so it's like, okay, well, she was so successful. But she kind of has that kind of, she's kind of, and you can probably see it, her character design is really similar to Matoi Ryuko, the main character from Kill la Kill. You can definitely see some aspects to her, and I think she definitely shares a lot of personality aspects with her as well. Very kind of the cool, like, oh, like, you know, yeah, like I guess, how do I describe it? It's like, other than cool, there's other words to describe her, but for some reason I can't think of them, and that's why we go to the Wikipedia. Bright and cheerful Umamusume, hailing from the deep countryside, hates boring stereotypes, feeling of entrapment, aims to become an ace among Umamusume to destroy them. Although she admires Mr. CB, strongly knows that Triple Crown Umamusume is the target she has to overcome. Edgelord card. Yeah, basically kind of like in that sense. But she does have a little bit of that aspect where she is kind of, yeah, she comes from the countryside, so she knows how to cook. She does, like, you know, the farming and all that stuff. She was one of the main characters in the cooking scenario. The scenario in the game where you farm ingredients and cook them and make dishes and all that stuff. And so she kind of has that aspect to her. I would put her at a B. B for better than average. Yeah, better than average. Okay. Anyway, Neo Universe. Neo Universe is an interesting character. She's very eccentric. It's very. Let me pull up the good old. Let's see here. Diligent Umamusume with a clear mind? What? I guess. The only problem is that she can't communicate normally. She's clever to a fault, sometimes acting in ways and saying things that are hard to understand. Thanks to that, the people around her sometimes call her an alien. So she's very... Apparently the whole thing is that she's very smart. She's probably one of the smartest Umamusume, but she talks in a very peculiar way, and so it's very hard for people to communicate with her. She's also technically meta. She has a lot. She's very useful in CM races. Not that that's really important, but just kind of a note there. She's definitely really peculiar. I think A or B. This is gonna be a hard one. Well, let me think my reasoning. Okay, so A, because maybe, well, I like her. She is quirky, and she's a little bit too quirky to a fault, which is why I kind of want to put her at B. But I do like that her quirkiness kind of lies, or I like that she's very unique. Definitely, like, there's no Umamusume that, like, she's very similar to. She's kind of her own thing. So I guess I'll put her in an A. All right, how many do we have left? We are only down to, like, what? 25. All right, 25. Wow, we already got 105 down. Wow, it's only been almost 3 hours. Lovely. Okay. Hey, this stream didn't go as long as I thought it did. I was joking that it's gonna be like 6 hours, but I think it would be good. Okay. Hishimiriko. Okay, so Hishimiriko is kind of another one of the brand of the ordinary Umamusume, except she's interesting because she's basically like a slacker. Like, she doesn't really train that hard. She doesn't like training. She's really bad at swimming. So there's a whole meme about in the fandom about her with swimming and how she like runs away from the pool in her like swimsuit and how she like avoids any type of swimming no matter what, which is similar to her real life counterpart where she's actually like where he was just terrible at swimming. If you look up any videos of that, it's just like he looks like he's drowning and in pain. So bad at swimming, hates training, doesn't really like to, you know, do races and all that stuff. And she's like, yeah, whatever, I'll just do the races and all that stuff. But somehow she was able to win 3 G1 races against some pretty good competition, like some actually really good Umamusume. And she was able to win 3 times, despite the fact that I think she was 11th popularity at best for like those 3 races. So it's just like she was definitely like absolute underdog, but she somehow was able to win, like somehow, like those 3 races. And then other races she was like bad, she was not good. And then it's just like for some reason those 3 races she did really well. So it's like kind of a weird miracle in the sense. But I do like her character. She's a bit of a slacker, and sure, she's not living up to her full potential, but I like her like little kind of the quirks of like the way she talks is kind of nice. It's kind of like, you know, very calming, very relaxing, and I do like the little in jokes of her not being able to swim and all that stuff there. So it's a little cuteness there. Tap Dance City. Okay, Tap Dance City is, I think she's obsessed with trying to win money. And that comes from the fact that her real life force counterpart won, I think, I don't know how much, but she won a lot of money. Like probably, I don't want to put a number to it, like 3rd or 4th most in like racing, Japanese horse racing history or something like that. Somewhere in like the top 5 or top 10. She won a lot of money, and so that's why she's like, her roman or whatever is romance or roman as she likes to put it, is to win races, win money, get all famous, do all that stuff. She also speaks a lot of English. She does a lot of good. She actually has a pretty good English pronunciation, so good for her on that. But she is generally pretty focused on just winning money and winning races. I will say that before she got implemented, I actually didn't really like her that much, but when she became playable and I rolled for her and I was able to get her and I did some training runs with her, I actually kind of became more endeared to her. Like I actually kind of liked, like upon first glance with her whole obsession with winning and earning money, it's like, whatever, that's like, that seems kind of shallow and pompous. But she actually, like, I don't know, she's like Opera O in that she's very kind of, you know, she knows that she's good, but she's kind of full of herself, but in a good way. She's not like over the top like Opera O is, like, but she's a little bit more mellow to it, and I kind of like that. So that's why I'm gonna put her at an A. Okay. Duramente. If you haven't watched the 3rd season of the anime, she basically like she's in that same group with Kita-san Black and Cheval Grand and all those people. She won she's very similar to Teo in that she won the first 2 races of the Japanese Triple Crown, and then she got injured and was not able to race the 3rd one, and then after that she kind of fell off the cliff and wasn't able to kind of really race after that. Unlike Teo though, she's kind of more she's taciturn, she's a bit more quieter, she's not really that, you know, like loud, cheerful, that kind of thing. She's very like focused on winning races for the pedigree of her family, that kind of thing. I'm gonna put her at a B. Yeah, B. Okay, so now we got these 4. These 4 are kind of the main characters, not main characters, but main focus of the game's 2nd chapter. They're all around the same, they are the same era, all fillies trying to aim for the triple tiara. The main one of those is Rhinecraft, who I like to call Minecraft. So Minecraft over here is very stereotypical main character energy. Like she's very what do you call it, she's cheerful, she's positive, she's like if you think of, and you watch any like moe like moe show, like Cute Girls Do Cute Things show, you watch any of those, you know, usually the main protagonist is like a cheerful, happy-go-lucky girl who's like, yeah, I can do anything with the power of determination. And so that's pretty much her fault. And so for that reason, I'm putting her a C, because it's like she's not really that special. I think the thing I like about her the most is that, one, she has unique eyes, which, if you're interested, yeah, so this is, yeah, Rhinecraft, Reinhardt. You're not far off. That is the spelling of her, kind of the spelling of her name. If you look closely, you can see she has the little star pupils, which, if she gets excited, those stars go like, woo, wee. And then the other thing I like about her is that her name is very similar to Minecraft, and so I'd like to make the joke that she's Minecraft. But that has nothing to do with her character, so that's why she's at a C. Alright, Cesario. Cesario is the daughter of Special Week, which is why they look pretty similar. You can see she has the same kind of hairstyles there, and then the same kind of braid. She has it in the back, she has it in the top of her hair. Cesario is interesting. She's pretty much two personalities. She has her on personality and her off personality. Her off personality is just like kind of standard, like, oh, like cheerful, positive, happy, like, yeah, like, oh yeah, let me help you, like that kind of thing. Her on personality is more intense. She changes voices to be a lot more deeper. She's like determined, passionate, focused on winning races no matter what cost, that kind of thing. So it's kind of this weird dichotomy of like these two personalities, and it's like, oh, it's like when she's speaking her deep voice, the characters are like, oh, she's on her on mode again. So at first I didn't really like her. When she got implemented and I did more training runs, she kind of grew on me a little bit, so I will put her at a B because I kind of like her, kind of. Air Messiah is an absolute... Okay, Air Messiah. Air Messiah, how do I even describe her? She's... Well, for one thing, I'll say this. The reason why I immediately put her a C is because I think she is the benchmark for average. She is 100% average, for me at least, average, unremarkable... This is going to sound so... It's like I'm hating her so much, but average, unremarkable, just whatever, you know, it's just like average, you know. I don't hate her, I don't like her, she's firmly in the middle. And what's funny is that was the case originally, and then when I did her route, or when I was able to pull for her, and I got her first roll because I didn't really want to spend too many rolls for her. I was like, I don't have that many jewels, I'll just do one roll for her, and I got super lucky and was able to get her roll. But when I did her, when I did a few runs with her, I was like, because usually when I do a few runs with characters, even if I don't like them, usually I, like, you know, do a few runs, get to know them a little bit better, and then it's like, oh, you know, I actually like them a little bit more. And so usually it's the case where I actually like them a little bit more, and, you know, my favorability for them goes up a little bit. For her, it just completely stayed the same. It was just like, oh, she's just average. She's actually just super boring. It's just like, wow, she's, yeah, very unremarkable. 3 things are certain about Air Messiah. She's honest, steadfast, and hardworking, wants to break out of her shell and ultimately her insecurities, challenging herself to try many things, stay a small presence. Mother finished within the top 3 of her triple TR races, but she never won any of them. Air Messiah wants to show her mother she has a great future by winning the races for her sake. So I guess, yeah, she's ordinary and she wants to try breaking out of her shell, but the problem is there are so many other Umamusume that are like that, like Tannhäuser, like Nice Nature, like Danzu Flame, except these characters I feel like have a little bit more personality to them, that are a little bit more better, that I just feel like it doesn't really show in her story or like her character. And this could be the fact that I didn't read the stories that closely, but I just wasn't really a huge fan of her, and I thought her story was kind of boring, so that's why I put her at the C. Daring Heart. One thing I know about her is that she speaks a lot of English as well. She uses a lot of English in her conversations. But other than that, I actually don't know that much about her, so... Daring Heart is... Umamusume who grew up in America, of course. America speaks a lot of English. Daring Heart has a personality befitting of a leader. She loves to stand out from the crowd and is usually surrounded by a lot of people. Okay, so she's, I guess, the more energetic, like, you know, leader type. Self-confidence is extremely strong, bringing a pride that makes her reluctant to show her weaknesses to others, carrying her weapon in the form of a strong heart. heart. She aims to become the queen of the Triple Tiara. See? Like, yeah, I don't know. The limited conversations I've seen of her, like she was in the 3rd anniversary story with her counterpart, because Daring Heart, Daring Tact. Where's Daring Tact? Yeah, Daring Tact. They're kind of in the same family, so they're kind of go hand in hand together. She wasn't really that remarkable for me, so it's kind of why I put her at a C. Buena Vista, also child of Special Week. What is her whole thing? I know she's also one of the newer characters, so I don't really know too much about her. She is a top student with the most pure and innocent heart, cheerful, upfront, and affable, not to be afraid of, affectionate towards anyone, empathetic to the point of caring about others' business like it's her own. One time while spectating a race, she witnessed the scenery like no other. To reach that goal of view and to fulfill a promise, precious promise, she wins in the Twinkle series. I'm gonna put her a C just because it's not really that much that. Like, it's still early to say. She's kind of like, again, like this one, like this one, like this one. Kind of too early to say how I definitively feel about her. She has potential, I guess, but she's not as much as these other characters, I feel, so that's why I put her a C. Rating pending, I guess, for these two. Orphe, okay. Orfevre, however you pronounce it. The most recent character that's come out to be implemented. She is, I guess, the king, whatever. She is the tyrant. She is absolutely, king of the racing world. Umamusume with tyranny running through her veins. Believes the turf is her territory to stomp over, and the Triple Crown was always her from the start, and she plans to take it back with her own bare hands. At school, her overwhelming ability and boastful charm are the reason why some students crowd around like her servants. I'm not a huge fan of her personality, so I'm gonna put her at a D. I'm sorry. Like, not the biggest fan. And similarly, I think Gentle Donna is very similar. Also kind of has the same character personalities, kind of tyrant-y, a little bit of an Ojo-sama, very acts like kind of elegantly, regally to herself. Also very strong, like even stronger than most of the Umamusume. Her whole thing is like she's nicknamed the gorilla because of how strong she is, and her real life counterpart raced like very, not brutefully, but like very like, you know, like was very like pushy and like, you know, like very like, oh, powerful in the sense. So not the biggest fan of that. Wind Variation. So Wind Variation's kind of, before she got implemented, I would have said that she was kind of a carbon copy of this one over here, Nice Nature. But Shion-san, as her nickname is, she's a little bit different. She is kind of in that same archetype, ordinary girl in the same generation as Orphe and Gentle Donna, so kind of in this generation of really powerful Umamusume, but she is powerful in her own right, and she's trying to find kind of that self-confidence there. She has aspects of like ballerina to her character. I don't know where that comes from, but that's a thing. So Wind Variation, that's right there. Good old A. Okay, Dream Journey. I'm gonna put Dream Journey at D. I'm just gonna say that straight up. She's kind of like she's the older sister canonically, both in real life and in Umamusume of Orfevre. She's like the mysterious character, in the sense that all these characters in the game have like, you know, quote unquote secrets that they kind of reveal. For example, if I click on any random character like Duramente, the character right next to her, you can see here secrets like she's actually a ray of sunshine. When she wears glasses, they tend to fall off when she exercises. So like kind of random little factoids like that. Like each character has like a little secrets, kind of like little blurbs, just to kind of round out their personality. Dream Journey has nothing, and then she blank. Could have just asked me about that directly. Ears do not touch, tail do not touch. And it's like suave model student, older sister Orfevre, heavily influenced by certain dames she met in her childhood, runs and races with the purpose of seeing the journey's end, seems to be remarkably considerate, treating everybody with courtesy while wearing a gentle smile on her face. But perhaps ... like she's a little bit too mysterious for me. And I don't know, she's just kind of What I also think is funny is that her personality does not match her like actual like kind of like her stature at all, because she is one of the shortest Umamusume, and she has like I think the smallest 3 sizes out of all the characters. And so it feels like she should be like a lot more taller, a lot more regal than she is, but she's so much shorter compared to everybody else. Like she's 144 centimeters, which if I go into Game Torah, I think you can sort the characters by heights, character profile list, sort by heights, ascending. She is one of the shortest characters. Like she is like in the same range of Nishino Flower, Inari-1, Haru Urara, Tamamo Cross, some of these NPCs who are little children, and then there's Dream Journey. And it's like she does not belong on this list. It just does not. It just feels weird. But yeah, she's a D. Okay. All right, moving on to, okay, we got the last 14 characters. We are on the home stretch. Here we go. Okay. Cowstone Light O. So she is a sprinter. Her personality can be described by 1 word, or 2 words actually. Straight line. She's obsessed with straight lines. She wants everything to be straight. She hates curves, which is ironic considering you can see the little kind of design in her hair here, which is not curved, or which is not straight at all. But she's obsessed with straight. She's obsessed with being the fastest ever, so she only focuses on speed, being the fastest, being like straight line racing, straight line races. That's all she really cares about. So she's a little bit quirky in that aspect. Again, similar kind of trio with Durandal and aforementioned Belief. Cowstone Lido, I'll put her at a B. Actually, B or C. She's a little too quirky for me. She's very similar to Bakshino in that she's very kind of a little bit dense, a little bit too on the nose with her likes, but in a less likable way. I'm up to her C actually. Yeah, C. I think C fits. Durandal, based on her name, which you can probably tell if you're familiar with other series, Durandal is basically like kind of the knightly character. She's like trying to be like all like what does the description say? Hello. Chivalrous, that's a good word. See, there we go. Thank you, Umamusume. Chivalrous Umamusume who values manners above all else. She seeks to have a keenly cutting spirit that is as sharp as a blade, conducting herself as a splendid knight like the ones in fables. She seems to be dreaming of a faithful encounter with a knight king worthy of her loyalty. Her trainer. A trainer ordered me by fate. In other words. She puts in conscious effort to maintain a gallant and elegant demeanor in her daily life. Having said that, she does not do that because she is a bit of a goofball. So that's why I like her, because she tries to be all like chivalrous, knightly, and be like all elegant, be like, you know, she has that little kind of like the pose to her, it's like, oh, I am a knight. But she's also a bit of a dork. If you watch her G1 winning animation is hilarious. Actually, let me try and find that. Because her G1 racing animation is literally just her like being all like, I won. She's raising her sword. She has an excited face. She's like, oh, and then she realizes, oh wait, I gotta be all serious. And then she like shakes off her she shakes off her face and like is like becomes more serious. Hello? There has to be somebody who recorded it. Maybe not. That's unfortunate. Maybe like that. I mean, technically it's all one word. Umamusume. Yeah, I'll see it. Whatever. The way I described it, the way I described it. So it's. If you want to find, I might find it later. But Durandal is a solid A for me. I do like her. She's definitely grown on me as I kind of. As I did her scenario and kind of gotten to know her a little bit better. Bubblegum Fellow, our fellow Bubblegum Fellow, the Uma who I was training the last stream I did for the CM. She is, as you can tell, chews bubblegum based on her name. I think she's I don't really know too much about her, to be honest. She's like the kind of the cooler type, brave and dauntless vanguard captain, strong spirit, quick wit, carry on anything you deserve. Yeah, okay. I think she's like a solid B. I don't hate her too much, but like, yeah, she's whatever. Okay. We're starting to get into, so these are starting to become the characters that are either pretty new, just got introduced in the recent new anniversary, or got introduced in a few months, and really we don't know too much about them. So honestly, these are all going to be pretty preliminary rankings for me moving forward. As we kind of start to learn more and more about them, they're going to be subject to change, definitely. But I still have at least some opinions on them, so we'll go quick on them. But Fusaichi Pandora, I'll just say it straight up, I don't really like her. She is also kind of one of the Gyaru, but there's a certain aspect of fakeness to her that I just don't like. Like, she seems like really fake. Like, she knows more than she lets on. Like, she's all cheerful. She's like, oh, like, I'm so like carefree or whatever, like shower with praises, calling her genius since birth. This girl has grown healthy and strong in terms of body, mind, and self-confidence, becoming a lovable Umamusume. I don't like that phrasing. She enjoys a carefree life in the academy, her confident quality shining throughout the same through employment, but she might be a teensy bit too generous to herself, dislikes self-review sessions. What they don't mention is that she showed up in the fourth anniversary, the most recent anniversary story. Sorry about my mic. And like, she has a few lines there. She seems really fake. Like, she comes off as super fake in it, and I know that is a part of her personality. Like, she's like, oh, I'm so carefree, like, oh, like, I'll do whatever. But it's just like, she actually knows that she is actually pretty good. But her fakeness is just, I don't like it. It's just, it just reminds me of a lot of people in real life that I just hated. So it's just like, I didn't like it. So fakeness is a reason why I put her at D. Blast One Piece. Blast One Piece. What a name. One Piece is one word, by the way. So Blast One Piece. She, and I like her character. I like how somebody described her character design as the Brazilian Taiki Shuttle, because it really does look like that. Like, Taiki Shuttle's right up here. So like, here's Taiki Shuttle, right? Here's Blast One Piece. Literally, it's just a Brazilian Taiki Shuttle. I think that's hilarious. They do have very similar personalities too. Like, she is an ingenuous Umamusume who's sociable to the max. So very sociable, very outgoing. When she spots a human, she'll get all giddy with joy and rush at them. Ruffy? The heck is that translation? Getting her legs treated as a kid made her even more fond of humans who have ties with Umamusume. She is eager to learn about humans, like their culture and history. I don't really know what that means, but based on the little interactions I've seen from her from the recent story, I like her. I'll put her at a B. You know, it's preliminary B. I think she has good potential. Sakura Chitose-o. So she got introduced in the Star Blossom anime Star Blossom manga, starring Sakura Laurel. So she's kind of one of the kind of Sakura clan. Believer, the idea of medicine and food are the same origin. She's a herbal maiden who wishes to spread the mindsets of the people who live healthier lives. So she's basically like obsessed with, I guess, herbs and medicine. Among the alumni of Victory Club were little Umamusume bearing the name of Sakura gather. She stands out with her mature and aloof attitude. Her favorite numbers are 1 and 6. I wonder what that means. Big thinking. No, but I think I don't know. Based on her, and she hasn't appeared in she hasn't appeared in the game. Her only appearance has been in the manga, which hasn't even been translated in English yet. So I have no idea of her personality based on literally just on the description. That's the only thing I know about her. But if her personality has anything to go off of, I would put her at a A. Like, I think if she's similar to Sakura Laurel, I think we can get this pretty good character here. So this is still really early, really preliminary. This is probably the most early because I have next to no knowledge about her character other than what's described here, because she's only appeared in the manga. So it's still too early to say, but I'd probably preliminarily put her at an A. So we'll go with that. Okay. We are down to the last 7 characters who have been introduced. These are the most recent characters that were kind of shown off in the 4th anniversary, announced during the 4th anniversary. They are in the game. Most of, if not all of them were, all of them had lines, appearances in the kind of short 4th anniversary stories. So I do have a little bit of an understanding of their characters. So while these are preliminary, these are kind of, I guess these are based upon knowledge, based on what I've read from them. So we'll start off with, I think, one of the most popular characters, one that's definitely gotten the most art, one that has a pretty good, has appearance in the most recent scenario for sure, Almond Eye. Almond Eye is, Almond Eye is kind of one of those characters that's obsessed with winning. She's model perfect student, and she is like that because of her hatred of losing. She hates to lose. She doesn't want to experience losing, so she does everything in her power to not do it. And I'm remembering that verbatim from the wiki because I remember reading that like several times at this point. So, Almond Eye. And in real life, I think it's argued that in real life she is probably the best racehorse, middle distance racehorse ever. Like, you can argue that she is the best middle distance racehorse, Japanese middle distance racehorse ever to come out. Like, that is how good she is. I think she won the Triple Tiara because she is a filly, so she had to race in the Triple Tiara races, but she did win a few other middle distance races that weren't just limited to fillies. So she is very, very, very good. Not that matters too much of personality. Just kind of giving a little background. I think she's a B for now. It's, again, too early to say really, but she seems like an interesting character, so we'll put her at a B. Lucky Lilac, I'm gonna put her a C for now. She's kind of unremarkable, so much so that I kind of forgot her personality or her whole thing. But she is Umamusume, notable for her fair Kansai dialect, refines herself daily in order to bloom into a dignified flower of the racing world. What does that mean? Much to her esteemed senior orfèvre has. She is really okay. That's interesting. To that end, she puts in conscious efforts to act with grace at all times, trying to suppress her inner voice that protests it. Based on what I saw in the anniversary story, she didn't seem that remarkable, so that's kind of why I'm putting her a C, and that's kind of why I had to read the kind of character there. But, yeah, C for now. Gran Allegria, who I thought was Gran Algeria, it's not, it's Gran Allegria, put her at A. She's obsessed with Mile. Like, I think that's what I got from her kind of character appearances in the story, is that she says mile a lot. Like, she uses that in her daily vernacular. And I think if you go to her character profile, is that she is innocent and hyper assertive in nature. She is a genius Umamusume with remarkable reflexes. She has established her own principles and lifestyle, living by a rather curious routine of activities such as relaxing to the national diet radio broadcasts, a set of standards she has labeled My Rule, which I think is a joke because it's My Rule. My Rule, like it's mile and then extra ru added to it, so My Rule. Yeah, she's definitely quirky. Her race outfit is very interesting. It's not a lot going for it. Also, what are those shoes? I just noticed those shoes. GA. Those shoes are something. Wow. Anyway, yeah, A. I do like her, so I do like the initial impression of her, so I'm gonna put her at A for now. Loves Only You. Okay, Loves Only You. I think she's like kind of the popular type, managing her own online fan club, partakes in various activities like uploading videos or streaming to thank fans who follow her. Her dream to share the love with fans around the globe, receiving love from her fans in the form of cheers and support. She returns with love or victory, so she says. Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. Those were Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. Like those are some big shoes. Anyway, so she's kind of influencer type, I guess. Influencer streamer, kind of similar to Karen, I guess. Karen-chan. I guess I can't really pronounce. I guess, well, no, it's Karen and then okay. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Loves Only You, I put her at a B. She seemed pretty all right from her character from the anniversary story, so we'll go with B as an introductory. Chronogenesis, who I think it's actually her birthday today, so in Japan, so happy birthday in actually less than an hour for me, so happy birthday to Chronogenesis. Chronogenesis is a character. She is a character, a reserved Umamusume with a passion for studying history. In particular, she is most interested in history of racing and heartfelt drama, weaved by the dreams of Umamusume and her trainers, so fond of it, and she likes to get invested in predicting the results of upcoming races or taking her large camera to racetracks on a weekly basis. Hey, there's no betting allowed in Uma World, okay? So you can't bet on races, okay? So don't do that. That's actually a thing, by the way. Like, in the lore, it's like, oh, people don't bet on Uma races. That is the thing. Don't do that. Don't put that in our lore, because that's not a thing. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Don't get the Yakuza involved. I hate that joke. Anyway, C. She seemed kind of unremarkable for the most part for me. LMAO, as if. Yeah, right? It's just like, yeah, as if. Yeah, it's just like sport. It's like, yeah, they don't bet against they don't bet. It's like, that's not a thing in the Uma world. Yeah, sure. Good luck with that. Alright. I'm gonna skip, well, no, I'm not gonna skip that. We got another Karen, surprisingly. So we got Karen-chan, who's referred to as Karen, so I've always thought it was funny that now we got Karen Bouquet-d'Or. Karen Bouquet-d'Or. Yeah, okay. Karen Bouquet-d'Or. If you can't tell by her name and the little flower thing that he has, she in both worlds, what am I saying? She has there, she is flowers. She likes to tend to flowers and flower arrangement, overwhelmingly kind-hearted Umamusume, thoughtful and yielding, considering one's feelings before her own. So she's in that archetype of kind of ordinary, you know, overshadowed by her peers, left and died in the spotlight, prowess is nevertheless legitimate, doesn't like the underside of shiitake mushrooms. Yeah, I don't really either. That's, now that I think about it. She is but a single flower, but she is one that firmly belongs in the bouquet of an era. What a story. I also do like that her kind of her decoration hair. I can't really read it, but it looks like that's her name, right? Karen Bouquet-d'Or. Like, she has her name just like, I think that's really funny. Like, just imagine like your everyday kind of like routine. I guess some people have that where they have like maybe like a necklace of like a loved one or something, but just imagine you're like wearing like a necklace with like a charm that has like your full name on it. Like, that just seems really funny to me. I don't know why that's just hilarious, but it's funny in my mind. So we got Karen Bouquet-d'Or. I think her short name is Bouquet, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's like we have two Karens now. And I'm going to put her at an A because of similar reasoning for these characters here. Ordinary Umamusume, kind-hearted, all kind of stuff that I really enjoy. Alright, hey Raze, what's up? Yeah, there are 130 characters. We are almost done. We're on our last one. This has been quite a journey. We're 3.5 hours, so we're about to finish up. But yeah, it's a lot of characters for sure. Alright, last character we have is Fenomeno, which, if you can tell by the appearance, disciplinary committee member, I think, pretty sure. She's in the same generation as Gold Ship, Orfevre, all that. So she's kind of, I think, she's sort of the horse that tries to like rein in Gold Ship, so to speak. She's strong sense of justice, serving in the public disciplinary committee. Patrols the streets daily and helps the locals through volunteer work, becoming known as a friendly officer that the neighborhood can count on. Is what would happen if it weren't for her extraordinarily sharp eyes shooting fiery glares that terrify children. We all love terrifying children, don't we? I mean, based on her personality and character archetype, I would put her at a C, but based on her, like, because she had a few lines in the anniversary story, as did all the other characters that showed up that are new. And I actually kind of liked her. Sure, she's a little bit fierce. She's a little bit, you know, like she has the glare in her eyes, but she is a little bit kind of dorky in the sense. So I'm gonna put her at a B for now because I think she has the potential to be a bit more of a character. Okay, so with that is all 130 characters. I'm I'm going to take a look right now just to see if I need to make any adjustments, see if anything looks wrong, see if it all looks good. I don't think we're going to have enough time to go through what I was thinking with this character sorter, which is literally just kind of comparing. So, oops, no, don't do that. Character sorter, which I can do all 130 characters. I'd have to do 822 of these like 1v1 matchups, just seeing like which character do you prefer, which I have done in the past, just to get a sense of, you know, who's number one, who's number two, all that. That's going to take a lot longer. We could probably save that for another time. I'm already kind of honestly pretty tired, so I'm just gonna leave the tier list. I'm just gonna stick with the tier list for now, and I do know at least that Ines is my number one, so that's all we can really go with. So let's see. Okay, so got our tier list. Got some S tier characters. I'm still a little bit hung up on putting Mihono Bourbon on S. I kind of want to put her in A actually. I'm gonna put her in A. Yeah, I think she should be an A. Put her in A. Where should she go actually? Hold on. Umamusume JP. That was Scarlet. Characters. Okay, so she should be between. Where should she be in this list? Because I'm ordering it based on kind of how they appear in their character IDs, which I'm not sure what the ordering system is here. It's just how the website lists it. So let's see. Mihono Bourbon should be after Agnes Digital. Should she be after Yukino Bijin? The answer is yes. Wow, I actually put her in the right spot. Amazing. Okay. So Mihono Bourbon's A. I think that's good. Kitamo Cross is good. Haru Urara, Nice Nature, Machikana Tannhäuser, Transcend, Aston Machan. I'm gonna put her down to the A. I don't think she really belongs to this group. So okay, hold on. Let me see where she is in this list. She would be probably she'd probably be right here. Okay. Right? Because she's between those two. Okay. So okay. Let's look at the Ines Fujin, Oguri Camp, Gold Ship, Seiyun Sky, Tamamo Cross, Haru Urara, Nice Nature, Machikana Tannhäuser, Transcend, Dansu Flame, Jungle Pocket. Does Jungle Pocket really belong in S? That's a toughie. I'm not gonna lie. She's like right on the borderline. What happens? Yeah, what happens if I put her right here? Does that look right? Yeah, I think Jungle Pocket should be an A. I'll be 100% honest, which means where would I put her? Let's see. Jungle Pocket is Kopano-Riki, so Kopano-Riki, so it should be between Vivlos and Kopano-Riki, right? Sorry for all the tab switching, by the way. It might be, I know it's probably a bit jarring, but I want to try to get this in the right order. Okay. All right. Okay, so I think S is good. Yeah, that's good for S. Let's see if I need to move anybody from A. Just last minute adjustments. Special week. Yep. Taiki Shuttle. Yep. Agnes Digital. Yep. Mihono Bourbon. Yep. Yukino Bijin. E91. Karin-chan. Actually, should I move Karin-chan up? Now that's the question. Now that's a question. I don't think that was something I brought up when I was listing her, but now that I'm looking at this list, I feel like maybe she might belong in the S rank. Nah, you know what? No, I think she's good in A for now. I think well, let me see how this looks. You know what? No, I think Karin should be S tier. Okay, so sorry to go back to here. Where is Karin in this list? Karin she should be up here, right? Okay, I think if I remember my S tier ranks, probably between Tamamo Cross and Urara, right? Because that's a pretty big gap. Where was she? Karin. Yeah. So Karen is right here. Okay. You know what? Now that I think about it, I should probably do this alphabetically. That would be a much better idea than having to be like, oh, what arbitrary order is it in? Let me do that actually. I'll do that later. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time just being like, oh, which one's which ones. I'm just gonna do that later. The stream or later after the stream's over. Okay. All right. Okay. Cotton's good there. Gold City should be. Should she be A? She should be A. Tosin Jordan A. Yeah. Taishin's A. Palmer, Helios, Sudomaru Tsuyoshi. Yeah, A. Meijiro Bright, Sakura Laurel, Narita Top Road, Furioso, Tani no Gimlet, Asta Machan, Chaval Grand, Vivelos, Jungle Pocket, Kopano Ricky, Wonder Acute, Neo Universe. Actually, no, I think Neo Universe should be B. Okay. That was pretty easy. Okay, never mind. Ishi Miracle, Tap Dance City. Tap Dance City should be B. I don't know why I put her at A. Wind Variation, Durandal, Sakura Chitozeo, Gran Allegria, Kuran Bokedor. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, B. Tokai Teo, Fuji Kiseki, Metro McQueen, El Condor Pasa, Narita Brian, Fine Motion, Maya Top Gun, Mahan Cafe. Wait a second. I'm just saying names. I just realized I was saying names halfway through. And I was like, I'm not even thinking about this. Okay. Metro McQueen, yes. El Condor Pasa, yes. Narita Brian, yes. Fine Motion, yes. Mayano Top Gun. Should I put her at B or C? B. We'll put her at B. B. Manhattan Cafe, yes. Hishi Akibono, yeah. Agnes Takion, yup. Admire Vega. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I'll put Ayabe on top there. Okay. Aishin Flash, Miss German Horse, yeah, B. Kawakami Princess, Sakura Bakshino, Smart Falcon, Seno Robroy, Nishino Flower, Machikane Fukukitaru. Should be A. I don't know why I put her at B. Mr. CB, Meisho Doto, Meijiro Dobear, King Halo, Kita-san Black, Sakura Chitono, Sakura Chiono, Meijiro Ardan, Yano Muteki, Daring Tact, Manin Zephyr, Espar City. Actually, you know what? Espar City should probably be C. I'm sorry. Symbolic Princess, Virginia, Believe, Hoko Tadamae, Katsuragi Ace, Duramente, Cesario, Bubblegum Fellow, Blast One Piece, Almond Eye, Loves Only You, Phenomono, Neo Universe, Tap Dance City. Okay, I think it's good. Okay, C. Okay, let's see if I need to move anybody up or move anybody down. Okay, Silent Suzuka, Vodka, Daiwa Scarlet, Grass Wonder, Hishiya Amazon, Symbol Rudolph, Biwa Haihide, Major Orion, Rice Shower, Air Shakur, Seeking the Pearl, Super Creek, Nakayama Festa. Next time you should do a tier list with A to Z tiers. Well, funny you ask, because I'm probably not going to do another tier list, but I probably might do a ranking list. So what I kind of showed off before, there's this kind of site here that I did before where there's a character sorter where you basically like you can do like all the kind of main characters here. So these are all 130 characters, and you'd have to like do a sort, so you like kind of compare who you like better, and then from that you get like a ranking list of like your favorite Umas from 1 to 130. So I might do that next time, but this takes a long time. I've done this before, and it takes a long, because some of the choices that you had to make between like two characters, it's just like, I don't know. Well, this one's obvious, but like, and this one's also obvious. But like sometimes you get to like a choice and you're like, I don't know. So maybe I might do that later. Who knows? Maybe I might do that in a few months once we get more characters, stories. But for now, I'm gonna stick with the tier list because I think that's a little bit less work than that. Anyway, Bamboo Memory, Biko Pegasus, Marvelous Sunday, Ikuno Dictus, Twin Turbo, Satono Diamond, Northlight, Daichi Ruby, Satono Crown, KS Miracle. Yeah, KS Miracle belongs to. I was doubting for a little bit. I was like, well, not think, but no. No Reason. No Reason. Still one of my favorite names. Still in Love, Samson Big, Sounds of Earth, not Ass, Earth, Voice and Royce, Minecraft, Air, Messiah. I legitimately had to think about it for a second. I almost forgot her name, which shows how unremarkable she is. Daring Heart, Buena Vista, Calstone Lido, Lucky Lilac, Chronogenesis, and Aspar City. Finally, we have our not favorite characters: Marzensky, Team Opera O, Air Groove, Winning Ticket, Shinko Windy, Sweep Tosho, Symboli, Sirius Symboli, Measure Ramonu, Orfevri, Gentle Donna, Dream Journey, and Husaichi Pandora. Okay, I think that's good. I think we're good. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, put them in alphabetical order, and then I'll post it and reply on my tweets, just so everybody has a good old list, has a reference for all my favorite Umas. Just what I think of them at this given moment. I'm sure this is going to change in the given weeks as more stories come through, as we get more events, as, you know, we start to learn more about some of these newer characters. But for now, this is kind of how I feel about all these characters. So, and Ines is still my number one, so that is pretty self-evident. So yeah, I think that's just gonna be it for this stream. We finished everything in 3.5 hours, which I think honestly it's a little bit faster than I thought it would be. So that's good. Much good there. So I appreciate everybody for coming on. Thanks for coming to this unscheduled stream. And like I said in the beginning, probably gonna be playing things by ear as we kind of move forward the next couple of days. I'll definitely try and do at least one stream in the weekend. Not sure if it's gonna be a Umamusume or a Gakuen Master, considering there's not really that much going on in those games. Umamusume, I might do some CM training. I don't know. It hasn't been successful yet. I haven't done that much training, to be honest. It's just been auto fan runs for me. Maybe some Fall Guys. I don't know. Maybe I might play a new game. I've been playing Polybridge 3. There's that's been really fun, getting to use my brain, getting to use some of my knowledge there to build some bridges. Fun fact, I'm actually afraid of bridges, so it's kind of jarring seeing the bridges fall apart and being like, that can happen in real life. So yeah, but no, that's maybe I might do something with that. I know there's a Twitch integration for that, so maybe that might be fun just to kind of do that, see what that's like, see how the audience can interact with that. But yeah, I might think about that. We'll see what the next stream comes to. So if you're interested, definitely follow me here on Twitch or follow me on Twitter, or Blue Sky, all the socials. I'll have the kind of links on my kind of end card once I'm done with the stream. But yeah, so Rift did the Necro Dancer Impossible stream. Yeah, I mean, God, I still can't play Impossible levels on that. Like, I'm still trying to like figure out like hard level. I can do hard levels, hard level songs, but dude, I can't even finish like most of the Impossible level songs. Maybe I might do that. I'm just worried about copyright stuff. I will say though, I mentioned before when I played Electronic Superjoy 2, like when I posted the VOD for that, the video got copyright struck, and then I checked, I think a few days ago, I found out that all the copyrights for that actually got removed and it was totally fine. So I don't know what happened, but apparently it's not a problem anymore. So there you go. So maybe I might play more Electronic Superjoy 2. Who knows? You know, just play a little bit of that, finish that off, because I actually didn't finish that when I first played it. So anyway, lots of possibilities. So I'll think about it. We'll see if I'm up for streaming tomorrow. If not, it'll probably be Friday or Saturday. It'll definitely be before the weekends, but I'll play things by ear. If you're again, interested, definitely follow me on any of the social medias and you'll be notified on when I'm live. So with all that said, I hope everybody had a good stream. Thanks for watching. This has been Shino the Penguin, and I hope you all have a good rest of your night, and I will see you in the next stream. Have a good night, y'all.